In we go.
I'm hiding. Hello and welcome.
Unknown. Oh god, don't sue me.
Everything is good. No.
Don't
please.
copyright claim me, please.
Please turn down Ace
Have
Attorney
mercy.
volume.
Oh, my volume?
No, just the Ace Attorney volume. Hello, Dichotomy.
Oh, I thought that was loud. Where is it coming from? Oh, YouTube. Okay. Mute
well, if it's loud for you, that means you're listening to something else. But
yeah, YouTube.
Hello, Mason.
Tab was unmuted in the background. Hi, Amazing.
Tisk tisk Mars, tisk tisk.
I apologize if my sniffles are being picked up by the mic. I am still a tad bit icky sicky, but we're definitely better than we were.
Yes. We are doing something very special today when Ori should be doing the other comic work, but we're doing something very special.
Have fun too, you know?
Well, I couldn't pass up the opportunity that yesterday was Webcomic Day. You know? All right? Yesterday was Webcomic Day.
It was.
Yes.
Not yet, Mason, but I will.
In the middle? What the hell happened here?
I was just a little too headachy this past weekend to really
very weird
pay attention to anything. That's why I was playing a very simple RPG for most of it.
Alrighty.
Although not because apparently it's ripping my heart out, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, really. Turn that smile into a frown.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Very sad.
Yes. So yesterday was Webcomic Day. It's belated because, you know, we stream on Tuesdays, not Mondays. Such is life. So, to celebrate Webcomic Day, that too. But one, you should read Outcast. 2, if you've already read Outcast, read it again. You know, support us. 3,
yeah.
there are many other.
Do what Dichotomy does and start reading every time a new entry goes up.
Yeah, really, from the beginning, which is just insane. Do you read books all at one sitting, Dichotomy? Like, I don't understand. When you read a book, do you just sit there? I need your heart to live.
Hello, Penguin. Welcome.
It's there for the media to consume you. to either fill you up or rip it out. Yes. Oh, well, happy birthday, Mama Mason.
Happy birthday to her.
I'm saying just do it once, Dichotomy, not every time a new episode comes out.
Giving into the madness.
But the more important thing is you should read other webcomics too, because unfortunately, Outcast is in a planning phase, not a hiatus. That's a scary word, apparently. It's in a planning phase, which the planning is going well. All of the sketches for the next first entry are completely done. Some of the lines are too, but that needs to get picked up on because the lines need to be done last week. But that's neither hide nor hair. So other comics you should read is, of course, we have a lovely comic creator here, Mason, who makes Built This Way, hosted on Comic Fury, if I'm correct. So you can go to Comic Fury and find Built This Way. Allie's not here right now, but hopefully she will be making her own comic. I know Vix Draws, VIXX Draws, hosts their webtoon on YouTube, on their webcomic on Webtoon. Jesus Christ. I can't remember what it's called. We can probably find it under Vix Draws, and it's about one of their D&D campaigns that was streamed because they're top-down tabletop. That's who they're a part of. I think that's all the comic creators I know personally. But besides the comic creators I know personally, today, in order to celebrate all the comic creators that I love, and I really, like, binge read their comics, like, really bad. Like, oh my god, I follow. I'm talking about, these are comic artists with their comics that either have, one, inspired me to make Outcast, or, like, specifically, or two, I actually, like, follow them specifically. So their comic is great, but also they're, like, writing and just characters and like art in general is really fun. So I want to support these people, and we'll start with, I think, the heavy hitters.
Who are we starting with? Who's our heavy hitter?
I need to find my place where I put all of the references, because unlike us cool cats,
certainly name some comics
they
that
don't...
I certainly hope that you're doing.
Okay, well, I can tell you the list of comics that I'm doing, and I know that definitely one of them is one you definitely want, a second one is one you'd maybe want, and a third one is one I know you read, but it's definitely more my favorite. Yes, 3 of these are BLs. I think one that you would have wanted I'm not doing, just because there's too many after a while. But the big hitters are, of course, Comic Aurora by Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions. We have...
Hello, Federico.
Hello, Federico.
Welcome, welcome. You are just in time. It is Webcomic Celebration Day.
Indeed. We have Kendall.
Vash. Other Vash, my beloved.
Yeah. Well, he's not Vash anymore. He's Kendall. But
I know. I couldn't help myself.
It is good.
Was too good to
Who's
mess
obviously the one that Milano will be cosplaying. We have Faust, which is obviously just Ferrex with a reskin. That was not an accident. It was an accident. That was not intentional. But oh my god, is Faust and Ferrex so close?
Pirate-themed comic dichotomy.
Yes.
What's your first favorite?
He has been what's the word?
Who do I need to be pulling inspiration from?
No. What's the word? He's been bribed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He's been bribed with, you know, companionship and affection, as his boyfriend dared to make a pirate-themed comic. Yeah, bribed,
Oh.
Coerced.
Well.
It's not duress.
I see how it is dichotomy.
You can admit to buy. No. Ask Dylan. It's more than that. Yes,
Dylan
Sleep. What is your question?
Hello, Sleep.
Oh, we talked about this. I ain't gonna fall into that one. I'll get shot by Mason if I answer that question.
Well, we can't risk that. We need you to draw this lovely, lovely fan art.
Yes, wait, there's more. Because, of course, Red is a fan of the 5-man band, as we are.
Oh, yes.
So we also have,
we are. I mean, look
of
how
course,
many people are in our cast.
Aaron, which is honestly, Aaron and Kendall are my favorites. They're beautiful. As obviously Hotson, because I mean, fuck yeah, he would be.
Look at the boy. Just look at him.
And then I will say, the next 2 were difficult. Because I don't think anyone specifically gives Aster vibes. And Alnua is the healer plant girl. But and Danix, which is great. We ship Danix and Faust. Oh my god, copy please. It's so good. Why won't you frickin' paste? Thank you. They are in love. We love them. These 2. Literally this one here is fighting to is in a volcano for this one.
Special unique brand.
Beautiful. And Danix is also trans mask, which we fucking stan. Let's go. Trans rep. But so the difficulty was aesthetic-wise, Danix and Sinnet go very well together. Orange hair, ponytail, poncho thing. You can't really not be like that is just aesthetically Sinnet. However, personality-wise, I would not say Danix is Sinnet. And well, Alnua is more like plants and healer and that sort of stuff. So personality-wise fits Sinnet. Obviously, aesthetic-wise fits Aster. So we may not do those 2, and we may just do these 3 boys here because they fit so well. And to be honest, this is definitely no offense to Red. It is just a thing. The character design is certainly not in the outfits for our main characters. I think Danix has the most iconic outfit, where everybody else does just kind of wear like a shirt, pants, and boots. Again,
Pants, shirt
no
combo.
shade, but it is the truth. Like this is Kendall's outfit.
I find that Red's ability with character design lies in the facial features.
And the hair. Very much in
like,
the
that's
hair.
where it's most
And the
recognizable.
color. And the color.
Absolutely. And this is also why we're here to highlight.
I'm mostly... Well, the point is that these characters are all very recognizable from each other. Without having a signature outfit, I would say. You could put these characters in basically any outfit and could easily recognize them.
Oh yeah, they'd still look like them, which
Yeah.
I think is important in character design.
And what it means is that you definitely can get away with pretty simple stuff. I mean, if you have not read Red's comic...
What do you have to confess, Sleep?
Comic Aurora. Let me get it.
There's something to confess.
You should. It's very
Comic
good.
Aurora is really, really good.
It's very good. There's a lot of content if you want to binge. I know John's not here right now, but man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, I feel like Dichotomy would appreciate it. Amazing. Honestly, I can't think of anyone in our chat that wouldn't appreciate Comic Aurora.
Yeah, it's really good. They're the trans flags, Federico, because we talked about trans rep in Danix. And that is perfectly fine, Mason. I mean, I'm not... These characters don't change outfits. Honestly, like...
Mason, I feel like yours works because that's a school uniform.
That's also a school
even though
uniform.
You're set in reality, which is more grounded, like you're constantly changing outfits.
But a lot of characters are... Hello, Pastry Puff.
Heyo, Pastry Puff.
A lot of characters are classically in just one outfit. I would say it's more rare for comic and animated characters to have multiple outfits. That's more of like a special thing. Penguin.
I feel like the only
what country
the only
is
example
trans?
I can think of where a character changed outfit all the time and it was a cartoon property was totally Spies, and I'm very sad that that is the only example coming to mind.
Mabel has a different outfit nearly every episode. It is relatively
Mabel
the
did.
same outfit in the
Wendy
sense
and
of
everyone
like
else was always consistent.
yeah, it is relatively the same outfit in the sense of like it's a sweater that's a solid color with a thing on it and like a skirt, but like it does have a different thing on it and different color every time, which is definitely on top of it. The big anime one though is Killua. Killua from Hunter x Hunter changes outfit a lot. Well,
Hunter x Hunter does something very fun where the characters get new outfits for plot reasons.
Transylvania.
And that's very cool. It's
Yes.
actually used to help show the character's growth and change its settings, which is awesome.
I don't know.
Sleep, I don't know if I could take something traumatizing today. I played what I thought was a happy game, and then I got walloped with an emotional gut punch. I'm not sure I'm ready.
Sleep, that's not a great lead-in for me wanting to know.
We saved the trauma for Hotsun around here.
That's why it doesn't come up on FIFA. There you go.
There you go.
Just break the game.
All right. The game plan for these
West
boyos
Pennsylvania. Yes.
and days. What are we doing?
So we're just basically gonna probably not color for time purposes, as I do have a few comics that I do want to get through, and I don't think it'll be full body, but I do wish to just sort of draw our boys. Why are you doing this?
Windbreaker is so good, Pastry Pie. Oh, at changing outfits? Yeah, that too.
I had never gotten ads on this before, and now I keep getting ads. I'm very sus.
Ads? Oh, that's... Oh,
It didn't give me mid-roll ads before. And I was being very sus. Alright, maybe I fixed it. Whoa, I closed the thing though. There we are. It's FIFA? Okay, my apologies.
Struggling tonight.
No, Dragon Ball Z was rather amazing.
Pastry Puff, the only way Windbreaker has dropped the ball is they never gave Nirei back his glasses.
Yes! How dare Nirei only get those glasses once? They were beautiful! Give Nirei back his glasses!
They were epic. I need them. Ah, if only. But cool, it sounds like we're doing line bus. This is like art fight practice.
Kinda. It's mostly just, I think one of my favorite ways to do fan art these days, because I love drawing my boys, but I want to do more fan art, is character cosplay, is what I guess I'm calling it. Where I dress up my boys as the character. I did it with Momo. I mean, Momo and Okarun.
Okay. Ori, I have a next request for spring, because it's spring.
Uh-oh.
You have to do, and... well, they don't hang out too much, but their vibes fit so perfectly. Hotsun as Nirei and Milano as Hajime, but if we're going for canon, then make Sinit, Suo, and Hotsun Nirei, please.
I will say, when I do character cosplay, it's either personality or aesthetic. Because, like, we put the very first character cosplay did...
personality, because Hajime is very Milano.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so Milano.
No, 100%. And Nirei is pretty Hotsun, and Suo is pretty Sinit. Makes sense.
Also, just imagine Hotsun with those glasses. Like, please and thank you. He's so good. And,
what was I gonna say? My brain died. Yeah, the first one was for, Trigun. The first one was for Trigun. And,
I still have that wallpaper.
That is really funny, Federico. That's really, really funny.
Oh, shit, really?
That's actually hilarious.
Wow. The more you know.
They're passing the ball. I lost my train of thought because of that. Jesus.
Trigun, Hotsun, Milano.
Oh, yeah. I would not say that Milano and Hotsun really fully embody Vash or Wolfwood. And if anything, Milano is much more Vash than Hotsun is.
And yeah, Vash is Milano.
But aesthetically, Vash and Hotsun had like same hair. Like I knew the glasses would look good. I was like, that's the vibe I was going for. And then I was like, all right, well if we did Vash, then the gay is Milano is Wolfwood, and like his colors are the same too. Like obviously Milano has long hair, but like especially like original anime Trigun, you know, what was the first one called?
What do you mean?
They call the first one something.
Oh, Trimax versus
Trimax.
Tri-Stamp.
Thank you, Trimax. Especially Trimax Wolfwood is like darker skin and everything, so like he fits Milano aesthetically. Yeah, the gays come as a set, exactly. Versus when you get like Milo and Bisco, that's personality, baby.
That's hella personality.
That's personality,
that's
baby.
Question. That's just them.
Yeah, it's just them.
Feral Mushroom Man, let's go. If you have not watched Cyberpunk Disco yet, please do.
Okarun
is great. And Pride Month is coming up, so you owe it to
there you
yourselves.
go. Good stuff. And they're getting another season eventually.
Yes! Oh, I cannot wait for book 2 to be animated. Because I actually started reading the light novels. Bisco has it so bad for Milo.
He does. It's so good.
They'll never admit it.
No.
Because popular media. But we all know it's there.
But, as I was saying. Yeah, Momo and Okarun are definitely a little more on the, like, kind of in between. vibes and
That
aesthetics.
was like an in-between personality, but Momo does kind of match Milano, and Okarun is very shy like Hotsun, so it kind of worked out
It's
both personality
close,
and
yeah.
looks-wise. It was very close. I definitely see Milano as more of transformed Okarun.
Yeah. 100%.
Just imagine that with the teeth and everything. That would be crazy.
But, yeah. So, the character cosplay can go a bunch of ways.
Yeah. And those are multiple ways to do different kinds of AUs. It works the same way in writing, too. Do you fit them into the character's personality, or are you just like, let's just fit them in and see where they land?
Shove them in the universe, yeah.
Exactly. I see a lot of Attack on Titan fics that operate that way, where it's literally just, instead of putting, say, I'm just pulling an example here because it's the most recent one on my mind. Let's say you're taking Edward and Roy from Full Metal Alchemist, and you're like, I want to put them in the roles of Eren and Levi instead, because it's the same, like, corporal and subordinate dichotomy. Sorry, not dichotomy, dynamic. That's the word I wanted.
Dichotomy! We're looking at you.
Fiction writers who are just like, we're just gonna take Edward and Roy and plop them in the world.
John, hello, how are you?
Hey, John.
We mentioned you.
You couldn't imagine us without our glasses on?
Yeah, I mean, I fight having to take my glasses off for, like, pictures and stuff, like a feral dog, like a child.
I feel like I look so weird without my glasses. Like,
my glasses are the part of me, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they balance out my
in a
face. Although I
fanfic.
will say, my hair, so I recently got my hair cut, because before it was like, it was getting so long, it was literally down to like past my back, and I was like, okay, this is too long, this is too crazy getting ready in the morning, I gotta chop. So I got my hair cut a few weeks ago, and literally I was like, we're going shoulder length, we're going just above the shoulders, and my hairdresser always does it. He goes, are you sure you want that much? I'm like, yes, cut it. So she did, and now I'm back to lower neck length, and oh, it's so freeing. It is so freeing. I can move my head without all that extra weight. I love it. If I thought I could go shorter without looking dumb, I would.
The problem I have with attempting to go shorter is the fact that, like, I'm worried about, like, because it's like, oh, like, it's just hair to go back, and it's like, yes, but if you hit a certain point of shortness, then there's a stupid part in the growing it out section, and so it's like, that's the part I'm concerned about.
Objectively look terrible, because it's gonna be like in between bowl cut and pixie, and it's just like,
and it's like, I don't want to deal with that, thank you.
Also, just, I've realized that in order for short hair to look good, you do have to put a little bit of effort into styling it. And I just don't want to do that.
Passers-by. Nobody actually says that, though, Dichotomy. I just say passerbys. I don't say passers-by. That's weird.
Dichotomy.
I know it's right, but it's like, oh, the passerbys.
Discussion. Dichotomy. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I will copy paste everything I said to you, Dichotomy.
Uh-oh.
And pop it in chat.
DM'd? There's a DM?
This talk. We had this talk.
Well, Penguin,
I ain't dredging up past memories.
I don't count English as second language, people. Because you learn English the right way. You learn English the right way. And, yeah, that's it. You learn English the right way.
Is being indoctrinated from birth. That's the only way. Otherwise, the rules just make no goddamn sense.
You learn English the proper way, and that's not how we do it here. When you're a native speaker. When you're a native speaker, you use the English language like a plaything, and you mess it up however you want.
You're just indoctrinated, and then you never question the rules until you either have to teach the rules to other little people, or two, Well, yeah, that's the biggest one. That's the only time I've noticed people have to question their English skills is when they're like, oh yeah, how did I learn about this?
You didn't.
How did I learn that prepositions were prepositions? How did I learn that conjugations were this?
I can tell you, I remember specifically learning about, like, there, and, like, 222, and, like, that sort of thing.
Oh,
but
yes. The homophones.
That was basically it.
Yeah, the way I remember homophones, so I grew up on PBS
What did you miss?
Kids because, of course,
Speaking
I did.
English correctly.
And there was one episode of Between the Lions where I remember the mother of the lion family, her name was Cleo. She was singing with someone at the time. I forget who it was, but they were singing the homophone song. And I just remember them like singing, oh, when we meet. And then they put like a steak on stage and then they just turn and go, not that kind of meat. I don't know why that one stuck in my head.
I like, my brain has died.
But now I'll never forget what a homophone is.
Yeah. I remember the VeggieTales version of the homophone song.
See, of all the things I grew up with, I did not grow up with VeggieTales, which I'm honestly very surprised at.
It's disappointing. I can't believe you.
It just never made its way into my viewing, I guess.
So sad.
I've mostly experienced it through meme and TikTok.
So fun.
Oh, God knows.
But yeah, all of y'all in here who are from another country speaking English as good as y'all do at any level that it is, if I can like understand you, which honestly is kind of a low bar for English, to be honest. As not offense to you guys speak very, very well. Nearly all of you, I'm like,
no,
you're not English speaking first language people? It's like, huh, wild.
Never could have told.
Is like,
never could have known.
I'm in awe. I'm in awe because I did a fair amount of Spanish in school and I am nowhere near fluent in any sense. And that's a much easier language to learn than English. English is pretty up there in difficulty. I know there's harder ones, but like, it ain't an easy one, you know? And so all of you guys who are just like,
is it easier? Oh, this is interesting from John. Is it easier to learn a new language by watching TV shows in that new language you want to learn?
My understanding is that
it can greatly depend on the type of show you're watching. I know it's easier to pick up on certain phrases than it is like the actual grammar and pieces that make up said language.
That's really funny, Federico.
Like basic vocabulary and short phrases.
That's really funny you say that, Federico.
I'll be doing something and then look away while I'm watching anime, and I'll just hear something and be like, "Oh, I know what they said. I don't need the subtitles."
There's definitely like fleeting moments of fluency when you like watch enough anime where you're just like, I was not looking at the subtitles yet. I know exactly what was said, but it's like, I'm not fluent by any means. Could I parrot it back to you? Only like the really cringe ones that are like basically saying like Family Guy catchphrases. Like if somebody came up to you and went like giggity giggity goo and they like meant it, you know, and not like a reference. That's like a lot of the anime things. But no, what I wanted to say, Federico, about the learning English in a British accent and then they say that Americans talk in a deformed dialect. It's really funny you say that because I watched this one guy who's British and he moved to America, and a big thing on his shorts is talking about which word, like why the Americans say something one way and the Brits say something the other way, and 99% of the time the Americans are saying it more from the root of the word than the Brits are. And the Brits are actually the people that were like too hoity-toity, and once like America split off, they're like, we don't want to talk like you guys anymore. So like saying like things like herb is further from the original source material, right, of where we get the words. And so it's really, really funny that like the British are like, oh, this is the original. It's like, no, not really. But does it really matter? No. The other thing I was going to say is that about the listening to like shows and stuff, my understanding, I was always told that that should not be how you learn a language, but that should be if you can't live in a place where you're forced to speak the language and you're surrounded by the language. That is like a good alternative, but specifically not watching it with subtitles, right? Like we watch anime when it's in Japanese with subtitles because I want to know what's going on.
Well, we're using it for entertainment.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on. But if I was to say really try to learn Spanish, I would pick a show that is originally in Spanish. So, you know, a show made to be in Spanish, not an English show translated into Spanish. Well, those are good. It's just not the same. So, like, you know, they always recommended me telenovelas. And it's just like, I'm not interested in telenovelas. No offense. Anything K-dramas, not for me. I need the freaking, like, give me a Spanish cartoon, right? But then you should listen to that. And that's on top of it, like a part of it. Because you learn best, to my understanding, languages, how you're built, and Mars can probably back me up on this, by having to listen to it, right? And having to hear it and being forced to use it. And that's why, like, going and living in a place that you're forced to be surrounded by that language and speak that language is the best way to learn. And then what sucks is that all of you guys who
100%.
speak 2 languages are just leveled up humans because now it's easier for you to learn other languages. Like a third one. It's just like, that's easier. Yes. The second you get 2, you fucking level up.
Language out there. Now you can do anything.
My understanding, it was like any language. Once you learn a second one.
I can definitely corroborate what Ori said. Sorry, Ori.
No,
but
go ahead.
Definitely through exposure and hearing something over and over and over again. That's one of the biggest things with language learning and why we do speech therapy in the way that we do. It's all about the exposure. It's all about the repetition. Just using language around someone who's trying to learn, they'll pick up on those cues. They'll pick up on the grammar. They'll pick up on sentence structure and all that good stuff. As like I said with my example, I only know some of these phrases. I mean, when I did study Japanese when I was in college, but also just the exposure of it. You know, I've heard these phrases over and over and over again. I know what they mean. So yeah, 100%, like the exposure is half the battle. I remember I had a Spanish teacher in undergrad who actually told me, you should go live in Spain for a semester. It'll really help build your skills and like being around the culture like day in, day out. Now, me, of course, I was a little too chicken for that because I was like, well, I don't want to be in a position where I can't communicate. But, you know, that's the way to do it.
The thing is that you can, like that's the whole thing. It's wild. Like the human experience.
The thing is you can. The problem is my anxiety won't let me.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
On top of that, what I think is interesting is just how separate the hearing and the talking. Hello, Oscar. We're talking about speaking Spanish and other languages here. But my brain died. I was saying things. It's really like trying to learn another language really solidified to me how separate the 2 things are of like listening and speaking it and then even like writing it and like reading it is like wild how separate those skills feel in your head when you're learning a language, because I am surrounded by a significant amount of Spanish speakers throughout my working life. Okay, literally every job I've had has been majority people who speak Spanish as a first language, and then the second level is people who speak Spanish fluently as a second language to communicate with those people. Right, so the vast majority of my working career has been surrounded by people who speak Spanish fluently. And I understand their conversations at a pretty high degree, right? I can hear about them talking about how their wife wanted to sell the car and all this sort of stuff, and you know, and blah blah blah, and I can sit here and I can understand the vibe of what's going on, and I can like hear it in my head. Yeah, el lonche, that's my favorite one, el lonche. But to say anything is like it's gone. I don't know. I can say certain things, and if I sit here, I can say it. Oscar, so I don't know, Federico, if you know, Oscar actually has translated our Outcast into Spanish a significant amount. So there's a Spanish version of some of Outcasts on the Spanish webtoon thing, and Oscar is the one translating. And he asked me to translate an episode into Spanish myself, right? As just a fun little, this is the thing, because he's done this all for free, right? Out of the goodness of his heart. And he was like, hey, just, yo, yeah, 100%. It's been lovely. It's very cool. And, but so he asked me to translate like my own into Spanish, just to see. And he got it back. He goes, all right, it's not wrong, but it sounds like a child. And it's like, I feel like that's pretty accurate. Literally, dichotomy, literally. And it's like, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Things with a lot of language learning, especially in the States, is just they don't teach it in a way that it's going to stick in your head. Because when it comes down to it, when you first learn English, one, you're at a younger age. So your brain is very malleable. It's soaking up all that information.
I know,
that is the optimal time to learn language. But they teach it in such a way that you are constantly using it. Like, you really can't go without using language in whatever form that may be. Could be sign, could be vocal, verbal, could be with a device, but no matter what, you're using language. Our Spanish class does not operate that way. It mostly operates on memorization. And that was the big thing I remember is memorize
vocab.
How to conjugate this. Vocab. Exactly. And it's just, it's not conducive to long-term memory at all.
I can sit here and I can be like, yes, I know all these random one-off words in Spanish, right? I could sit here and point things out, la pluma, el lápiz, all that sort of stuff. You could go and cepillo, all this sort of things. But to say anything to you is very childish. Yeah. Nope. No. It's my brush is pink. Mi cepillo, rosso. It's barely. To a certain extent, I wish that they wouldn't teach you language properly, if that makes sense. Because if so many people are speaking natively the language, quote unquote, improperly, like how we just talked about in English, that it feels like it would just be more conducive to just teach the colloquial way, even if it's not like, obviously, when you say Spanish, right, there's Spain Spanish. I think Federico was mentioning it, right? There's Spain Spanish, there's pick a country in Central or South America Spanish, and they all have different stuff, right? And they all have different words. But I mean, the difference between British English and American English and Australian English and Canadian English, Canadian French and, France French and all this sort of stuff, there's obviously going to be differences.
Oh, your first unusual sentence.
Exactly.
Duo. That book is my grandfather. But that's kind of almost the point, dichotomy. It helps with thinking about, like you said, how to say something, how to conjugate it.
But I think what's wild is that, to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the level of conjugating that happens, that people who actually speak, at least in my experience, Spanish care about is so minimal. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, oh my god, I'm gonna use the wrong form, and they're gonna be like, what the what are you even saying? versus if someone came up and said thunking, I wouldn't freaking bat an eye. Right? Like, it's just, yep. It's what it is. More better, or, you know, betterer, right? Like, I don't give a shit. That's how we talk.
That's one of those things. I find in conversational speech, it is very forgiving.
In English,
more forgiving
Federico?
than they'd have you believe.
Yeah, and they teach you in this way that, like, They teach you in this way that is so, like, structured, like you really gotta conjugate it right. And it's like, if you come across somebody in English who's a native English speaker and they say wrong conjugations all the time, we have arguments about them all the time, like laid versus lane versus lie versus lied. They're wrong. You're using it wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now, every person in this chat is using it wrong.
Lie. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't say lied if it's not about lying, like telling a lie. That's the only time you can say lied.
You have to use lay.
You have to use lay or laid or lane.
So
but nobody says lane.
Lied down.
Yeah, I never lied down. That's wrong. It's always wrong. It's never right. But nobody fucking cares.
No one cares.
Nobody fucking cares.
Lied down all the time.
Well, it's now I lay me down to sleep, right? Like, that's a weird, that's like a whole thing. There's like 5 different ways that you, and I have lain, I have had lain, like, it's stupid. It's really bad. Nobody fucking cares. Yeah, that's the other thing.
I haven't been using it wrong. Congrats, Penguin.
You have not been using lied wrong,
well,
surprisingly. Well, every really other cool. English as a first language person definitely has. Everyone uses it wrong. Yeah.
I went and lied down. Spoke Bengali, and it was always so wild hearing her go from English to Bengali when she was talking on the phone with either a friend or her family. Because she just switch automatically.
Yes,
I'd be like trying to follow along. Like, I wonder if there's a word I can pick up here and there. I couldn't follow at all. I'm like, she makes it sound so good and so fluent. I'm just sitting here in awe.
Yeah, wild.
Languages are very, very cool.
They're so cool. And that's why all of you give me envy. Any of you in here who are like, yes, I am fluent in other language, is like, fuck you.
You lived that, Penguin? Then you understand. You understand. I was lucky. I got to experience that for 3 years of college. It was great. There were a couple of phrases. I've totally forgotten them now, but I'm sure if my friend is watching this, she's gonna immediately text me and be like, what the hell, Mars?
Yes, but Federico, but the question is, how much do you actually care? Right? If that makes sense? Because, like, we have like the I
doesn't super care unless
well,
you're in
well,
the
we have less.
setting.
We have less. But if I'm trying to think of, I'm like, obviously I'm gonna blank right now. Like I jump, you jump, right? Those are the same. He, she, we jumps.
He jumps.
Right, jumps. But if you said I jumps, I would not bat an eye. I would not, like, I might like look at you a little weird, like, for a moment, but like
I might think you're just tired.
You're just tired. You're doing a bit, like. or like he jump. Saying he jump is like, a thing now, oh, internet culture wide, right? Yeah, but saying like, oh, I jumps is like, you say that with your full chest. You did that on purpose, and I don't give a shit. Everybody understands, right? Yeah. He jump. Look at he jump. That we say that. We say that specifically in a specific sense, but it's wrong, right? But nobody gives a shit.
Well, then you also get into different types of English as well, because then you have like academic English, you have standard English, you have African American English, and there's a whole bunch of other different variations, especially in the States. And this is actually something that in my profession we have to pay attention to, because our biggest,
yes.
you know, job that we have to do is tell, well, when is there a language delay? Where do we need to step in and help? And there are certain grammatical rules that carry in standard English that don't carry in other variations of English. So, you're in an evaluation, you see that happen. Can't mark that as a delay. That's just somebody's use of grammar that's particular to their culture. It's actually something that the SLP world is becoming more aware of as the years progress, which is great, which is really good, because we should not try to change people's culture by declaring it a language delay. That was actually something they did a lot in the past, and
yeah,
not good practice.
No. It's similar to how like certain accents are considered like less intelligent, that's in heavy air quotes, so much so that there are people who
Perceived
want to be specifically with like the Southern American accent, right? Like having a Southern drawl is usually associated, like, wrongly, of course, but like with being lower class. And so like people would be looked over for like business opportunities and stuff if you talked like that, because you were like a country bumpkin. I'm doing like really heavy air quotes in real life. I hope you can feel them.
Well, it's fascinating that you bring that up, Ori. There's a branch in speech language pathology that does focus
That's
on,
what I was gonna say.
Accent reduction.
Yeah,
that is a thing that SLPs can work on.
That's specifically
However,
changing
you would
an
never
accent.
go into an evaluation and say, "Oh, you have an accent. We got to change that." No. Your client has to come to you and expressly say that this is something they want to do. Now, I had a friend who
Penguin.
saw somebody who said, like, I want to work on my accent because it's costing me business opportunities, which, ignoring the stupidity of those businesses and not hiring them because of their accent, that is the dumbest reason. But, we sadly live in a society, and she was allowed to receive services because she was seeking them out. But if you were doing an eval with somebody and you notice an accent, you're not going to recommend accent reduction therapy. No.
Yeah, it's
that
just
is not your
wild
call to make.
That like people do seek that out, even that like there's even a level of, I want to be in business, I'm from the South, I have a Southern accent.
There's so much intersectionality.
It's wild
with that. Like we could get into anthropology and sociology right now and talk about why that is.
Look at them.
Mostly racism.
Yeah, no, it's mostly racism.
The whole thing.
Vast majority racism.
It's mostly that. It's very rarely ever not that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it's definitely unism. It's just usually racism.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's other isms, like classism, and that's one that does happen. But yeah. We live in a society indeed. All right, look at the two. They swapped.
Oh, look at the Blorbos.
All right, time to do.
Oh my God, Dash looks so good in your style. I'm sorry,
yeah,
it's Kendall.
Kendall, I love Kendall. Don't take his name from me. I love Big Time Rush. So when he was named Kendall, I'm like, oh,
Dash before I remember Kendall.
Yeah, I have to draw. I really do have to draw.
In a while.
Aaron. I love Aaron too.
Oh, he looks so good.
But
look at the boys.
It's so hard. I love Kendall, but I also love Aaron. They're like top favorite. Danix is up there though. Danix is up there though.
Aaron will have to be the next one.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna jump around to a different comic now. I wanna try and
yes. I'd say that took you about maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah, I have other ones in here. I was also talking way more than I could have been. All right, next one we have is the other
as well. That's why I'm taking a big sippy of tea right now.
Major comic that has inspired, and that is Cast Off.
Yes.
So
very distinct style. I don't think
this is actually the older style mostly as well.
I have never seen such distinct faces.
So it's very difficult. This one, I will say. I would say that Vector does very much embody Hotsun in a lot of ways, definitely in the shocked expressions he usually has. But our second main, Ariana, does not feel very Milano at all. It's very difficult. But I wouldn't say any of the others super embody him either. Frankie, you know, doesn't fully give that.
Ariana feels very Cynic?
I was going to say Ariana feels very Ferrix, if I'm being honest.
Not Cynic, Ferrix. I meant Ferrix.
Ariana feels very Ferrix. But they also have a 5-man band, and honestly, Ferrix would probably be Rory. But it's, you know, it's always a little tough. But I think we're probably going to go with Vector, just because he's very Hotsun.
He's incredibly Hotsun.
Let's find
Plus Hotsun would look good in a cloak.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear how Castoff is moving to its own website from now?
It's been on its own website, John, for many years.
For a
it
while.
Is just
Unless
it
we're
is
talking
just
about different Castoff.
No. It is this Castoff. What happened is that Webtoon had made her censor an episode, I think is what happened, and she has just had the last straw, basically, on Webtoon's policies and stuff, and so now she's just no longer posting on Webtoon at all. She will only be posting the comic updates on Tapas and her site. Yep.
Good for her.
Yep. I've honestly mostly read it on the actual site, Federico. I have only gone to the Webtoon basically to, like, here's support over here. Because that does give her money if you, like, do certain things. Because there are, like, ads at the bottom. Something like that. That was the only reason I looked at it over there. But that is also similarly, John, the reason that we are getting our own website made. Because we don't want to solely be beholden to another sort of platform, and we do have the means to make it happen.
I will be honest. I want to do stuff with the nightmare sequences.
Yeah,
I want to do lots of stuff, and I hope Webtoon doesn't get mad at us for it. But I have plans.
They'll deal. We'll just do what.
I'm not compromising anything.
If it's a problem, we'll just
traumatize these boys.
What Star did.
This is my job. I gotta traumatize them.
You can go find them on the website. Sorry.
We're better to torture them than while they sleep.
Yep.
I mean, Hotsun's already got a taste, but he hasn't even gotten the full thing yet. The full enchilada.
A whole enchilada? Yeah, shadowy wizard.
Having a whole one.
Sid is pretty Hotsun. I can see it.
I could see that.
I feel like at this point, though, Addie feels more Sinit, but who knows? All right. Oh, they're both purple boys. I didn't even realize.
Oh, that works out very well.
Yeah, Kendall could have been yellow or blue, where Milano's obviously red, but yeah, Hotsun's purple and Vector's purple, so crazy.
That worked out very nicely. Yes, I did Pastry Puff, and I cry because when I saw the trailer, I
didn't see the trailer.
Are literally exactly the same as the animated version. I was like, why did you even bother?
Yeah, I was like,
you just copy and paste.
Toothless is also, on model like to the nth degree.
I was so annoyed during that trailer.
I just saw a billboard.
Sure the actress for Astrid is a great actress. I don't know if I've seen any of her other work, but oh my god, when I was seeing those line reads in the trailer, it really felt like she was just reading off a checklist of the script from the first movie. To me, there was no emotion in that performance at all. Like, I think back to when Astrid was confronting Hiccup after losing Toothless, and like, there's so much personality in her line delivery. There's so much life to it. And then, hello, Allie. And then in the live action one, at least in the trailer, it just sounds so dull and so lifeless. I'm like, oh, this DreamWorks.
You know what is
Why?
great? You want to know some good How to Train Your Dragon stuff? Look up any of the cast interactions at the How to Train Your Dragon DreamWorks, like a park.
Oh, Universal Studios.
Yeah, thank you, Universal Studios. Go look up any of those, because every single time it's like these cast members are...
Robot Toothless is very cute.
Robot Toothless is great, but the Hiccup is amazing. Rough Nut and Tough Nut are insane. Like, they literally are like the characters come to life. They do the mannerisms. He sounds like the voice actor. Like, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out.
Oh, yeah. No. Do yourself a favor and go look up cast interactions with the Universal Studios How to Train Your Dragons cast members, because I don't know if they call them cast members Universal Studios, but whatever they are, do that. It's great. Worth it. Ooh, well, make sure to put it on our Discord, Sleep, so we can see it. But hello, Allie. Happy Webcomic Day. This is your sign from the universe, Allie, to actually start making your comic.
Yes, please. I want to read it.
I want to read it.
Ooh, Federico asks, Disney versus DreamWorks, which one? At this point in time, I'm gonna pick DreamWorks.
I can't pick.
It always flip-flops. It always flip-flops.
I can't. I'm drawing him in the wrong outfit. I can't pick. I can't do it.
I'm gonna go DreamWorks.
I love.
For me, personally.
None of them have been new ones that I would sit here and be like, I love. But like I love so many of each that just have like
Are you ready, kids?
Oh Jesus, that was loud.
Hey, hi.
Hello. I don't think I've ever had that on stream in a long time.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
If you don't know English.
We haven't baked in a while.
Typing. Okay, I've told this story before, but since we were on language a little bit, I'll tell it again. So for the longest time, as I've mentioned before, the beginning of my content creator career, I guess, journey, is making D&D 5e homebrew. And that involves writing things. And I would, to make them nice and pretty, write them in this art program here. And this art program does not have any sort of spell check or anything like that. So there's no spell check. And Ori is fast, loose, and honestly just overall bad at spelling in general as a person, as a human. And so because she was putting out 3 pieces of art a week, 3 homebrews a week, I don't know which question it was. Hello, Enthuse. We're doing character cosplay for other webcomics and the Outcast boys, because it's happy belated Webcomic Day. Yesterday was Webcomic Day. You could get along. Yeah, no. Literally, Penguin. So Penguin, it was so... Honestly, it wasn't actually that bad, because hilariously, the piece that this was on had one minor mistake, and I think it was literally like something like the S we talked about, where I said something like jump and where it should have been jumps, and it was once in like a really long list of things. But I posted it on Reddit, and on Reddit somebody commented, and this comment will live forever in my brain because I think it's absolutely hilarious, and it was something along the lines of, wow, your art is so good that it doesn't deserve to be aside all these mistakes. You should have a native speaker reread your things before you post them.
I remember that one. Like, the audacity.
Just the way she opened up to Sid, that she kind of went over to Sid and was just like, hi, I'm going to be your friend now, and we're going to relate, and we're going to talk, but there is some sort of, like, trauma in there. It feels very Sinnet.
That does give Sinnet, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely wild, right, Penguin? I will never forget that comment because I think it's so hilarious. Because I think what's absolutely hilarious about it is I like reread that post and I was like, I went, Dylan, I see this one mistake on like a lot of stuff. Like, really? That's what has led you to do this? To comment, to think I'm not a native speaker? Like, that was too funny to me.
I forget if you replied to them or not.
I don't think I did.
I thought you replied back to them with a banger.
Dylan might have. I don't think I did.
Dylan, earning that title of best fiance.
Oh, yeah. It was just so funny to me.
Oh, that wasn't on Reddit, Enthuse. At least I don't think it was.
What? No, it was on Reddit. It was specifically on Reddit.
It was on Reddit. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It
was specifically on Reddit.
Ruthless, indeed. I thought it was on Instagram.
No. This one was definitely Reddit.
Oh, okay. Good luck, Allie.
Oh. Editing minds. Oh my goodness, good luck. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Uncommon mistake, Penguin. It's more so just like the audacity.
Yeah.
And it also, like, the way it's phrased really feels like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, it was just very like,
wow, your art is so pretty. If only it weren't next to all these mistakes.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah.
Like, okay, can you just say you enjoyed the art and move on?
Or just say nothing. It's just wild
That too.
to me.
That's an option.
But again,
So
the
many people
fact
don't
that
realize that saying nothing is also an option.
I think what really got me was the fact that it was like there wasn't even like a lot of things. Like, I didn't conjugate it wrong most times. It was just really funny. I mean,
that's a reflection on them. They didn't realize it was a slip of the keyboard. And that's a show of their character.
No. I'm trying to find the comment.
We were talking about the time that Ori's typos were so bad somebody thought she wasn't a native English speaker.
Yeah, really
Except they
funny
weren't
to
so
me.
bad. It was literally one mistake and someone just had to be a little bitch about it.
Yeah. I want to find it because I want to find the,
Excuse me.
Okay, it wouldn't be here.
I might leave to go make some more tea, but not anytime soon. Art is subjective, Federico.
No.
But now we must ask the question, does the accompanying word and or description take away from said art? In my opinion, no, it's something entirely different.
What even is this post? I don't even know what this post is. Okay.
That's why I was hired as the writer.
Yes, exactly.
But the art is still good. At least, I hope.
Okay, here we go. Should be here somewhere. Rita Pins, Candelaria.
It was a long time ago, too.
Yeah. I've definitely, I mean,
like,
there's not, I don't have that many,
your,
like, comments.
That was back in your homebrew days.
Yeah. Dylan in here being best fiance, commenting on Reddit on all of my shit.
Truly.
Responding to people.
This is why we stand.
Wild. Cool weapon. I noticed there's a punctuation error in the image, though. Yeah, okay, cool.
Now we're on about punctuation.
No, I'm just trying to...
I miss anything in chat?
Thought it would have been easier to find, but I guess not.
Can't sleep. Oh no, Allie. You too, Mason? Oh.
Boop, boop, boop.
The struggle. Kind of related to sleep, but a little bit tangent. I always know when I have a cold coming on because I will get either the weirdest dreams or the worst nightmares of my life leading up to said cold because fever is aiding the brain. And apparently my body's response is, oh, we must alert the human that this is happening. How should we do this? Let's send her some nightmares. I'm like, crap. I slept like garbage last night.
Woof.
Oh, not sleep. Allie, I feel like that just proved your point. Unless, actually, that feels more like an autocorrect got you.
Autocorrect is both
that feels like
an angel and a devil.
Taking spell to sleep. Penguin, the combo breaker. Look at you.
Don't think I can find it.
That's...
Yeah, that one was always funny to me, though. That'll always be in my head. Yep, the spelling, it's difficult. English is stupid. We've discussed.
I noticed more and more often that either and this is annoying when I'm typing on my phone because, you know, sometimes I get an idea in the middle of the day and the nearest thing I can use is my notes app. Or the middle of the night, you know, that's perfectly valid too. I don't want to leave bed and go all the way to my computer on the other side of the room. So I open a document and I start typing on my phone. And my phone has been doing this annoying thing where it tries to predict the word coming up. And I'm not talking in the way that it shows the 3 little individual boxes with the words and you could pick which one is coming up. I'm talking full out, puts a word I was never going to use, and then another part of the sentence and just lets me keep chugging along until I realize, wait a second, why does it say that? I never typed that. And I hate that it does this. Has anyone else noticed this, or is it just me?
I know that Google will do that. I don't know about Apple and like the Notes app or whatever. I know Google does do it. However, I've never found it.
It has been rampant when I type on Discord now. Like, there's a reason I am always editing my.
So I found Google only does it in Google like apps, like Google programs, and I never found it to be to like an extreme detriment where I didn't notice. So. Like, basically, I write the same email every week, and it goes like, hi, this is my timesheet. Like, hi, boss, this is the timesheet for last week, you know, best Ori, and I write that same email every time. So if I type, hi, boss, it'll, like, be like, so you want to type this? And it's like, yeah, I do want to type that. Like, actually, like, I do, yes. But, I want...
Like, acceptable.
I had a really interesting thing I learned about AI shit. So obviously we don't technically have artificial intelligence to the level of like actually learning that well. But there are two groups of what is considered AI. And this was very interesting to me. There's generative AI, which is what we fucking hate. Okay, that's what we have issues with. And then there's what was called assistive AI. And that's what this not what Mars is talking about, but like the predictive text, right? The autocorrect, the you know, all that sort of stuff. That is called assistive AI, where it's again, it's not intelligent, just like generative AI isn't really artificial intelligence either. But the idea of it being like one was built to just assist you and humans in everyday life. It was not meant to impede. And then the other type of like, so I use a form of assisted AI in editing the videos. It generates subtitles. It is generating the subtitles of a transcribing thing that I still have to go in and edit because it's wrong sometimes, a lot of times, and I still want, and I can't make it do exactly what I want, right? But that's considered assistive AI because it is not generating anything out of thin air. It's not really out of thin air. It's not combining things Frankenstein to make something quote unquote new. It's just doing basically a run of a program to a slightly more higher degree.
It sounds like it's taking its best guess.
And so, no, 100%, exactly. AI should be there to assist. That's what we have been using it for. Again, with autocorrect, with predictive text, with Siri, with, you know, all of that original stuff. Siri is not generative AI like ChatGPT or, you know, character AI is. She has responses to things, and she will often say, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're trying to make me do shit that I don't have in the program, right? And it's like, yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah, I don't want AI to generate my my trip or make an image. What I do want is that when I'm trying to spell the word, you know, abacus, and I fuck it up, it'll be like, did you mean abacus? And I'll be like, yes, I meant abacus. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Instead of having to go fucking look it up in a dictionary, right? That's all I want. Because all that would do is doesn't put dictionaries out of business because that is not their only function. And 2 is just taking time out of me personally doing an extra thing that I would have had to do anyway.
Yeah. Because that's supposed to be the purpose of AI, is to save us time so we could focus on stuff we want to focus on.
It's supposed to be assist.
Like
and so when people are over here being like, oh, like not all AI is bad, all generative AI is bad. At this point in time, we're not getting a ethical generative AI from anything. No. It's just not going to happen. And on top of that, it uses way too much fucking energy. We need to stop that shit. Assistive AI has had use for decades. I don't know if it's decades, but a long time. Honestly, probably at least 2 decades at this point. Am I that old?
Oh, God,
a decade and a half?
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm sorry. Not really. Only a little sorry.
Oh.
But yeah. So that was just an interesting thing I learned about, like, that does make sense.
It does. And it explains a lot.
And as you can see, they're not taking anything.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Where we are as a society, we are not ethically capable of using AI conscientiously.
Yeah. That too.
I almost feel like it should be like a mom taking away her kid's toy. It's like, no, you don't know how to use this properly, so you don't get it until you learn.
Exactly. I gave you the knife. I taught you how it should be used. You stabbed your friend. No more knife. Done.
Yeah. No, you...
Yeah, the profit motive runs your song.
Yeah, or if you want the child variation of that, okay, I gave you the glue stick. I told you the glue stick was
insane
paper
penguin.
to paper, not for gluing Legos to your friend's hair.
Yeah, or the wall. Yeah, we taught you.
Well,
we taught you how to use a glue stick. I showed you.
More readily available than the wall.
I showed you how to use the glue stick. You didn't use the glue stick this way, so you're not allowed to use the glue stick.
We use the glue stick for creating pieces of art, not for hurting our friends.
This page called "This person doesn't
Lego
exist."
your friend's hair.
That's horrific, Federico. It's just horrifying. Horrifying dystopian crap.
That's scary. I hate.
You want to know?
It's growing.
You want to know something actually really scary, really concerning, really upsetting? This is going to be really upsetting.
Give me nightmares,
this is
Lori.
really upsetting. AI, generative AI. This is a real thing that happened recently. A man was killed in, I believe, a drunk driving accident. Some sort of accident.
Why'd you make me laugh when Ori said that?
A man was killed. Okay? They went to trial about it. This man is dead. Okay? I need you to understand this man has been dead. His sister and family then made an AI to generate him, so I'm gonna call it it because it's not him. It is not him. It is an it. This horrific facsimile of this poor man was then used in court to give a closing victim statement that the judge, and this is the extra horrifying part, the judge was swayed by and gave the defendant more time. Now that's the least of the problems. The guy killed the guy in,
this Ace Attorney.
No, horrific shit. Absolutely horrifying shit. The fact that now in your will, you will have to put "don't fucking AI generate me in any way" is a horrifying thing to have to think about. He cannot consent. That dead man cannot consent to his family deciding to make a doppelganger, horrifying, soulless AI to speak for him. In how
I'm not even sure Twilight Zone came up with something that horrifying.
Would have done it. Horrific, horrifying. This is the worst
when
thing.
There was that whole debate of using AI to bring back voices of the past.
They weren't even using
James Earl Jones's voice and using AI to bring it back, even though he's like he would be dead and long gone and couldn't consent to that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is reminding me of that, but like another step further. And oh god, I hate that.
Yeah. It's good, yeah.
This is why
good plotline for dystopian narrative that we're living.
Dystopian narratives, and I switched solely to cottagecore because real life, man, real life.
Yeah, I don't. It's too much. I
don't like it.
I saw some sort of like a satirical skit that was meant to be like The Onion, the people who write The Onion in their like meeting room, and it was just like, all right, so Trump wants to buy, Greenland or whatever. And it was like, no, that's real. And just like, what? And it just kept like saying the crazy shit that is actually happening as like trying to be like, this is the satire, that like The Onion does. And it just be like, no, that's true. And it's like, what the fuck are we going to write about? Horrific, horrifying. Yeah, dystopia can suck it. We're living in it. I have
not seen a post from The Onion in a while.
Because what could they say?
They come up with material that is more stupid than what we're currently living.
What could they even say?
Because it's so stupid.
Yeah, so I don't hope that'll haunt your nightmares, but yeah, horrifying shit. And they fucking like legally justify. The thing I hate about the law, I gotta tell you, the thing I hate about the law is that they use it they never, like, they don't do it as in spirit of the law as I think you should. Because basically the justification is like, is this legal? And they're like, nothing says they can't use AI. And it was like, now I know why when you take like a standardized test, they tell you, they fucking like list off every electronic you could possibly have by name. And it's like, because apparently someone will just come in with some shit and they'll be like, well, you didn't say I couldn't have this specific device. Like, what the fuck? A recent one history
exists because someone decided to break it once. If the sign says, do not jump on the ice in the middle of winter, you will fall through, it means
crying,
they did
Penguin.
it before.
The judge was crying out of the it wasn't testimony, out of the closing victim statement. It gave. The thing gave. Horrific. Horrifying. And I gotta tell you, it had that uncanny valley shit. It still felt wrong. You know?
Did they project it on a computer?
Yeah, no.
Zoom Skype or something?
They had it, his face, his, like, bust, and it was giving his generated, again in heavy air quotes, speech that the AI made for him. It wasn't like this is his last thing and they just wanted to show it from him. Like, it wasn't even that shit. It was completely and utterly, entirely fabricated. Horrific.
That's
horrific.
horrible.
Horrifying. Worst possible things.
Ugh.
There's no laws against Pokemons. Yeah, exactly.
Can I get out of this timeline, please? Or at least this part of the timeline.
Committing them at a food fair. Yeah. No, you know, that's what you have to do. You have to keep living because, you know,
you really do.
And that's what you have to do. You have to find community, and I you know, urge you all to find, you know, local community as well. You know, this is great and all. We love you being here, but, you know, definitely find IRL community too. But, you know, you gotta keep living. You gotta be informed, and you gotta keep going.
You gotta have balance.
Is it gonna be tough? Yeah. Is it gonna be horrifying? Yeah, we're seeing it. It's not gonna be a fun time. Okay, you know, that's how it is. But this too shall pass eventually. And, you know, you have to be around to see it.
Yes. That's why I live. I live out of spite. Like, oh, they want to see me miserable? Then guess what? I'll be happy, bitches. Take that.
Yeah, run to the forest and play Celtic songs.
Yes. Find a fairy circle. Join a maypole.
Where's Mason with the shotgun? I see her over there.
That's why I'm like, I gotta get rid of this cold. I'm going away next week. I gotta get rid of this cold.
No, 100% those vibes.
I'm gonna live my life.
All right, let's actually get Vector in here now.
He's so cute.
Vector is a short king, so small boy.
So is Hotson when you compare him to the rest of the crew.
Hotson isn't actually short, guys. I'm waiting until we get into port, and it's like, oh shit, Hotson got a the rest of the cast are just fucking giants. Like, God, Aster in port is gonna be a wild ride.
Hotson is just me around Ori and Dylan if the rest of the world were smaller than me.
Yeah. No, Hotson is me around all of Dylan and Doug's friends that are 6 foot plus.
There you go. There's the comparison. Allie! Are
Allie's
you
back.
out of editing hell?
Yes.
I hope so. You missed a riveting discussion.
Let that be a warning. Let that be a warning to the rest of you.
Ooh, Federico's bulletproof.
Nothing to lose. I saw that, but then I realized what you meant, and then I ignored it. I'll do that to Dylan sometimes.
Like
He'll like make a comment and I'll just like ignore it because I don't wish to acknowledge it, and then he'll be like, you know, like this
on
and it's like
Ace Attorney nights most frequently.
Yep.
Dylan will be like, Ori, I said the thing, and she's just like, I know.
Yeah, I specifically chose not to say anything. Yeah, and they said it was a stupid ass thing. I've elected to ignore it. Honestly, one of the best lines out of the Marvel universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was a banger of a line.
That line is one my dad and I quote so often. But then
yeah,
also
right,
the
Allie?
line from Vox Machina when Vax is going, those were all bad ideas and you should all feel bad, is one we also quote constantly alongside that line. Because they share the same vibe.
They do share the same energy.
Like, you're dumb.
Yeah, it is the same energy.
Which line, Penguin? Which one? The Marvel one or the Vox Machina one?
Both of them.
Both lines, okay. I mean, they're top tier. What can I say? They be top tier.
They be top tier. Guys.
I still need to finish Vox Machina.
Yeah, me too.
The only reason I remember that is because I was watching it with my dad. Now we're behind. And now it's really funny because now he's making sure I keep him up to date on To Be Hero X. Because he's like, well, did we see this week's episode? Did we see this one? I'm like, I'll make sure you see it. Don't worry. He's like, but we didn't finish anything.
And you're like, life is hard.
One, I promise.
Hit me with your best shot.
Ideas are indeed bulletproof.
Don't you hit me with a best shot.
Have you heard the song Bulletproof by Aviators? Indie band. Really good, honestly.
I just always think of Titanium.
I feel like if you like that line, you will like that song.
No, when you say hit me with your best shot, I actually always think of hit me baby one more time, but specifically Fender dancing to it in the Robots movie. I've only seen the first ESOL one. I haven't seen the second ESOL one.
Ori, you gotta catch up.
I'm sorry. I'm behind on Windbreaker. I'm behind on To Be Hero X. Those are both ones I have to sit down and watch. I did watch Apothecary Diaries because I was told how terrible Jinchi is being about it. So I was just like, I could just kind of watch this one. I don't have to like be here, you know?
That's kind of, I feel bad because I was enjoying Apothecary Diaries and then it did the thing and now I'm like, yeah, this is background noise now.
The mystery, I will say, the mysteries also just haven't been as like fun overall.
Yeah,
we're kind of
I gotta admit, one of the mysteries I liked the most was when the servant or lady in waiting.
Spoilers, I guess. Spoilers, I guess.
Well, spoilers.
Apothecary Diaries spoilers.
But it was like a mini mystery. It was like a mini mystery.
I'm just still gonna say.
But I enjoyed the one where they had to discover that the servant girl was locked away by the lady in waiting to hide her illness from everybody. Because I'm like, ooh, that was interesting. And it feels like there's some stakes. There's a human life on the line. And it's like, yeah, I enjoyed the episode with the younger court lady, like the mirror and the ghost and her mom. But it's like, I kind of saw it coming a mile away, you know, that it wasn't real. Like, that was never gonna be real. There had to be a logical explanation. And then as soon as they entered the bathhouse, I was immediately like, steam.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was a little more than that, I will say. It was a little more than that.
It was a little bit more. Like, honestly,
like, the fancy mirror was nice.
That episode was, like, her standing up to her ladies in waiting. Like, that was some actual character development. And I was like, okay, I'm here for that. But Jinchi, man, they're trying to make you the focus, and you should just not be the focus.
Yeah. I have been liking Hello, Woogly. Are you feeling? You're feeling somewhat devilish, or not feeling slightly malicious?
That is surprising, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
right.
Pastry Puff. Windbreaker is phenomenal.
Remember, Pastry Puff's behind you. No.
I know. I was gonna say, I don't think you made it to the episode with
all I know,
Tsubaki-chan. It's good. It's
amazing. It's really based, Pastry Puff. Hard. It's incredibly fucking based. It is like insanely based.
Pastry Puff. That episode has convinced me to buy the rest of the manga.
It's insanely based.
And read
it's more based than you could ever imagine.
That is the level we're talking. I want to go out of my way to buy Windbreaker.
I have not watched it.
Add it to my collection.
I was spoiled by a short on like YouTube or some shit. Like obviously I don't care, but yeah, it's really fucking based. What's based? The anime Windbreaker.
So
Wandering Penguin. It's really good anime outright. Plus, it's fucking based as hell.
Good. The character
Delightfully
development in that show, like, I gotta say, this is Cloverworks at its best. I know they have Spy X Family. I know they have Promised Neverland under their belt. First season, because they never made a season 2. Such a shame. But Windbreaker, I think, is their magnum opus at this point. Like, seriously, between the animation, the character writing, the directing, the way everything just comes together is like, oh, it's so good. It's such a good adaptation. Like, they use those camera angles, they use those overlays very, very well. Like, this is peak from Cloverworks, I gotta say.
Oh, look at the cutie. Yeah, I made him really small. He's so small.
If memory serves, they are in episode 6. We get full backstory, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, episode
and
6.
And Pastry Puff, I literally sent a message to Ori after I watched it.
She begged me. She begged me to watch the sub. She begged me.
I was
She's
on my
like,
knees.
please,
I'm like,
Ori,
I need you. I need you to watch. So
I go, no, Mars, you could have waited.
Well, Ori, I will say this. Now that I don't feel any urgency to watch Apothecary Diaries, I'm technically where you are.
Ah, nice.
So we might be watching that one at the same time now.
There you go.
Oh, and there was another one. I was watching Lazarus, the new anime that came out by the same creator as Cowboy Bebop. I was hoping to like it.
No, we gotta watch that Versailles one.
To these characters.
Isn't that what it was? The one I sent you that fucking Alejandro Saab is in.
That Sayu is in.
Yeah. That's the one we gotta watch. That was the one you showed to me a while ago, and it was like Ouran High School vibes, but it was like a remake, and it was like the woman's the prince and the whole thing. Yeah,
and I
we
did
need
that without even knowing Alejandro Saab was going to be
No, that just announced that was the dub. And so we're watching the dub. Abdi.
Hell yeah, we're watching the dub.
Literally. I hadn't been following his like actual account, like his non-Sayu account, and so now that I do follow it,
I really should follow his actual account.
I constantly get like little things where it's just like, I'm in this one now, and it's like, all right.
I'm in this.
Check.
I'm in this.
Oh my god, that Emperor's New Groove is so good, Mark. Oh my god.
Isn't it amazing?
Oh my god, that's lovely.
I've never seen a more serious Cusco.
He's like older there. Lovely.
Guys, I can't resist sending Ori stuff in the middle of the stream.
She sends me all the stuff.
Of mine. I do. I really do.
All right. We have another set of comic boys from Cast-Off. So yes, these are the two comics that really inspired me personally. They're both the comics itself and their creators. So do go read them. They have their own websites. Yes. Okay, you have Comic Aurora by Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions, and then you have Cast-Off by Star or the Starfish Face. Again, also on her own website. You can Google them very easily. No, exactly, Penguin.
Fangirl noises? What fangirl noises?
You were making so many fangirl noises. Yes, you were. We all are.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Show me the record.
Okay,
Show me the record.
Go scrub back and stream about 5 minutes.
Nah, too much effort.
All right. Mars, do you want one of the ones... You want the BL that I think you'll be here for the most? That I picked?
Yes.
All right. The BL that I think Mars is gonna rep the most as well. This is a Webtoon original now. Of course, it was a Webtoon canvas originally. But I know Mars absolutely loves the one. And I do too, because it has deaf representation. It is called... Not So Silent, and these are the main boys.
So
the red and blue gays.
Yes.
Because classic.
Also, guys, in terms of writing, in terms of emotional setup and payoff, this author knows how to get it done.
We get deaf rep, sign language.
My God. We get deaf rep, we get ASL,
we get Hispanic rep.
Sign language.
They had a whole quinceañera.
We're going to get autism rep later on, which is really, really cool. Confirmed by the author. I'm so excited. But also, like, I love this art style, you guys. I love how soft everything looks. Like, these are so,
there you go,
so distinct.
I did it.
You sent me something amazing? I'll check it out in a bit. Yeah, these characters are also just so fun. Like, it feels very grounded, too. That's one of the things I really, really love about this series is that it takes place in high school, and every reaction the characters have feels realistic. Like, they get frustrated, they get mad, they have flaws, they make dumb decisions, and it's like, yes, that is how high schoolers act. It's so good, it's so great. But then it also has those really cute fluffy moments that we all come for. Oh my gosh. The fluffy moments are just, one, too many to count. And two, this author knows how to use the carrot and the stick very well. There are so many episodes where I've been like, oh my God, they're gonna kiss,
alien
and
representation.
Then interruption. I'm like, God damn it.
Yep. That's how these all go usually.
It does, but one thing I have noticed is that the relationship always progresses forward. Like, there are some comics I read where there's almost a stagnation in the progression, or they say stagnant for a little bit. I never feel that with this series. It always feels like each one is constantly learning something from each other, and I love that. So yes, big inspiration writing-wise. I've certainly looked to this one for how to do, especially this and one other comic does anxiety scenes very, very well. And I've definitely been looking to those for inspiration for the scenes where I want to portray anxiety as well. Oh, the opening for Hell's Paradise. Nice, Mason. I can't watch that on stream because unfortunately it would just be a teeny bit distracting, but I will check it out after. I trust that the opening is a banger.
Yeah, I mean, Mason, that's what I'm saying.
It sounds like you're reliving that shit. I don't know. Thing is solo leveling? Nope.
Yep.
Solo leveling is a very interesting case. I have not watched that one myself.
Well, it's also a webcomic.
It was a webcomic too, very similar to Tower of God.
Yes.
Where it started out webcomic, then got picked up for an anime. I've heard good things about it. Lots of people like come to that one and say like, oh, the fights are amazing, the animation is incredible, and it's like, nice. How do I like my romance, Federico? I like my romance with consent. I like it with growth for both characters. You know, one can't solely benefit from being in the relationship. It has to be a two-way street. And
communication
between the characters. That's a big one. And let me just say, these boys, Lewis and Fern, they communicate very, very well. It's almost like that's the whole point of a comic called Not So Silent.
Yeah.
that's all about sign language.
An illustrated narrative podcast called Realm Jumper. I mean, that sounds pretty epic, Pastry Buff.
Ooh. That sounds interesting.
That sounds pretty freaking epic.
Exactly, Penguin. You know, it's a healthy, hearty, balanced diet. Can't go wrong. Good for the mind, good for the soul. Now, I'm very curious what Ori's last pick was, because I do want to say the name of the other one that's given me inspiration, but I will hold off.
I don't think I have the other one. The other one is one I don't think you read, and I'm sorry, there's three. I have three other in here. One is my favorite. It's not a BL at all. Like, definitely one I really like. One is a BL that I showed you that I really, really love. That's a long one. It has a one-word title. And the last one is a newer one I've gotten into that I actually did. Oh, this is really cool. So the last comic I'm talking about, and the project that I am a voice actor extra in, which is very cool. They both asked for make your own this type of OC as background characters in their comic or their things. So there might be little Oris running around in other medias soon. So that'll be very cool.
That's fun. Mason, I do believe you mentioned DBZ as art style inspiration.
Yes, Pager Puff, yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Dragon Ball Z, Mason.
Characters communicate.
Yeah. That's why it was lovely. When they came out of that, it was great. Yeah, so Mars, say your second one. I'm gonna bet you that it's not one I have on here.
So my second one is Starcatcher. At least in terms of how I want to portray the
didn't pick that one.
Scenes.
I did. That was gonna be on here, but I was like, I have too many, and their outfits aren't particularly anything. So
yeah, they're very
I
basic
kind of was like, those they don't have like. I know at least like Fern and Lewis are like fairly recognizable with these outfits, even though they have other outfits too. But like the Starcatcher boys, they just wear clothes.
And sometimes you run into that with comics.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Castle Swimmer is another big
Castle
inspiration.
Swimmer's a good one.
Love that one.
I was not at the forefront.
That was like my first webcomic that I was committed to. Like, I'd been reading that one for a while. And then I'm trying to remember. Love Starcatcher, love Not So Silent, love Castle Swimmer. And those are the ones that always stick in my head. Oh, and then City of Blank, of course.
Oh, City of Blank's a good one. I did not have that one on here. I should have.
To be fair, outfit-wise, Rex would have put you through the ringer.
Yeah, but Milano Rex would have been amazing.
Milano Rex, you know what? We'll save him for next year.
Also, Ferrex Rex would have been good too. It's got the sleeveless going on with the new outfit.
Guys.
So that's really fun. Just character design wise, so a lot of more like fantastical, I guess, for lack of a better word, comics usually do have just sort of one outfit per character. Like on average, we're talking about on average. Where more like set in reality ones may have more variation because it is easier to draw and design just like normal clothes than it is to, you know, design necessarily whole fantastical outfits in your fantasy world, right? I think that's probably the biggest sort of
now that doesn't
reason
mean you can't do outfit changes.
Definitely doesn't mean you can't.
Setting.
It is just
but
more
it
work.
usually happens when there's a big leap or a big change.
Because it is just definitely more work. And that's the bigger thing. There's a lot more design that goes into it. But I think what's very important is to know, and this is in either case, when you have characters, sort of what their aesthetic needs. And I feel like the biggest example I have with that is Ferrix requires his shoulders to be bare. And the reason for this, or something
always.
off the shoulder vibe to it, right? Maybe they're not bare, but he wears like a cardigan that's like off the shoulder. And the reason for that is because that's the aesthetic that he has with his tank top and shirt. If he doesn't have that layer to it, it's not his like style and vibe anymore. A big one with Milano is definitely having the collars, but the more open shirts, versus Hotsun has the like the lapels, but the fully buttoned up shirts. Those are big ones there. Sinnit has that very fancy collar vest sort of thing going on. So having that like really big shape language on his outfits at the collar is very important for his design. And those are things I think about when I design them in the AU comics as well. Is
Yes.
to give
One
that.
thing we learned very early on in the AUs is that Ferrix needs some kind of headpiece to simulate his ears.
Yeah,
Otherwise, he
He looks wrong.
does not look like himself.
he looks very wrong. He also looks young.
Cat-eared headphones were a great solution.
Yes, 90% of the time it is like, here are cat-eared headphones. However, in the Ace Attorney AU, he gets conical buns.
And those work just as well.
Exactly.
But there was an Cute High Earth Defense Club fan art that, oh my gosh, that was like years and years ago.
Oh yeah, it's so old at this point.
But we did Ferrix, and he had no ears in that one. And Ori and I were looking at him, we were just like, it looks like Ferrix, but it's also Uncanny Valley Ferrix.
Yeah, exactly.
I think was the best way to describe it.
It was definitely off.
Not bad by any means. It was still drawn very, very
Exactly. So I
Just
chose Fern and Milano here because both personality and aesthetic-wise, I think they fit very well.
well. I feel like by the time Hotsun's in season 3, he'll be like Lewis.
Yeah.
Because Lewis just has a bit more confidence going for him than current Hotsun does.
But man, the hair, the vibes, the confidence, the brazenness that Fern has,
Thanks for
very.
feline characters. No, Federico. Just let me shove Blaze the Cat into my closet. There we go. What do you mean a thing for feline characters? I don't know what you're talking about. Captain Amelia, get back in there. Nothing for feline characters. What you talking about? I've heard nothing of the sort.
Okay, Fern, is your hair gonna be the death of me?
There's definitely more feline characters out there.
Ferrix is technically not a feline at all.
No, he is not.
He's a fassa.
Yes. Or, for those of you who have seen Madagascar, the
The
Fusa.
fusa.
Navos are attacking! God, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah. That was one of those that the show was good too. The Penguins of Madagascar
Penguins of
show
Madagascar
was great.
Kind of based.
Yeah, it was
I actually really
great.
liked that one.
Yeah, I remember watching that one.
Remember freaking Alice, the zookeeper, who was just like basically Cruella, but ramped up to 11.
Yep.
Okay, Federico, I read that as Hollywood Penguin, and then I read holy words, and then I read Holly words, and now I am very confused. I'm sorry,
Okay, I did my best on Fern's hair.
Oh, Blaze the cat is great. She was honestly my favorite Sonic character for a while. But Sonic was just in more games, so he became the default fave.
Makes it easy that way.
It does. It's almost like you're meant to like the protagonist or something.
Sometimes. Weird. Most of the times. I mean, we have Hotsun over here.
We do. That was one of the fun things writing for Hotsun, is like finding that balance of, okay, he has to have these asshole moments, but he's also gotta be
redeemable.
Like, the audience has to want to be around him too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the audience to be like, ugh, I'm sick of this guy. Like, he's still gotta be a little bit likable, which is why I think we have him be so nervous all the time.
Yeah.
It helps show that vulnerability.
It does help. Also, I just like drawing like nervous characters. I really didn't think I was that kind of person, but every time it happens, like
Some people go into art and learn their kinks. Other people go into art and learn that. I don't know what you'd call it, though.
I don't know what you'd call it, but like
kink?
when I get to draw like Phoenix, like deer in headlights or something, I'm like, wow, this just goes so smoothly. This goes so smoothly.
The art.
I really have.
Penguin's not watched it. Mason has watched it. Ooh. The dynamic. Mason, you could introduce Penguin. Wait, Penguin hasn't seen
Yeah,
Penguins
Penguin hasn't seen Penguins.
That is very surprising. At first I read that as surprisingly like, oh, it was on Nickelodeon all the time. How could you not come across it? But now I'm like, nah, your name is Penguin. You should have seen Penguins.
Surprisingly, because of Penguin.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still, the cold medicine is still coursing through my brain right now. I'm just ever the slightest bit loopy. Still functional, but definitely all over the place. I don't know. Should Mars stream with more cold medicine? Is this preferable?
Don't say things like that. Don't get them any ideas. We already have enough midnight brain here.
This is medicine brain.
Yeah, I don't need medicine plus midnight brain.
Oh, that's gonna be a beast. Ugh. God, but you know when like a fever breaks and then you can't stop friggin' sweating? I'm in that friggin' phase right now and it's just stop.
Soon, hopefully soon.
I almost panicked today, you guys.
Uh-oh.
I had to put on a humidifier because my throat and nose were just not having a good time. So I did that. I cranked it up, knocked out for about like 6 hours. Took like a 6-hour nap. And I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of bed, go get something, get like some tea or something. I step on the floor and the entire floor is completely wet. And I'm like, oh no, did Misty go to the bathroom? Did I just step and pee? And then I realize, wait a second, it's all over the floor. My door was closed and my humidifier was so high. It created enough condensation to leave a puddle on my floor.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny.
Shit, turn this off, turn this off! Oh,
a drunk stream would be a bad idea? Yeah, well, we'll never do one of those.
I mean, we've said it once, I'll say it again. We could have fun without getting drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a sober.
Yeah, there's already way too much chaos sober. I don't need legal issues.
Yep, Penguin, that's what all the tea is turning into right now, and I'm just like, oh, I could stop.
Yep.
Tales of the Abyss. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, just watch Friday streams. I mean, we're in a pocket here too. Dylan's just an extra level.
We learned specifically that Dylan scans for jokes to make.
Yeah, God, that was such like an epiphany.
Is what adds to the chaos.
I
and it
can't.
makes so much sense now.
I can't with that epiphany because like, there's like a part there. It's always like Dylan's the funny one. You know, Dylan. We go to stream. Dylan's the funny one. And like, he's just good at it, naturally good. And then he literally is like, oh yeah, no. I'm like only kind of paying attention to the game. I'm just trying to make every like thing into a joke. And I was like, wait, you're putting that much effort into it? Okay, I feel less bad now about not being as funny.
What do you mean, Ori? You're plenty funny.
But it's not the same. You know, I'm watching like our Tangled Tower stream and we have our moments, but it's not the same. And I'm like, is it just Dylan?
Definitely
Dylan's just the you know, the missing link. But then when he said that, I was like,
don't worry, Federico, Ori does.
Take good care of that. No. See, in this relationship, apparently he's the lucky one. There's an inside joke that we've had for like our entire relationship, and it was like, no, that's the love potion. Oh, Dylan has really bad luck in like life, like just unfortunate. And then one time we got a flat tire and with his car, and it was a Volkswagen, and we could not get the tire off. It had rusted on, which is the worst annoying thing because I know how to change a tire, and I thought I was gonna be really cool, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna be the cool girlfriend that knows how to change a tire because I've changed 2 tires at this point. I knew how to do it, and we get it, and we do everything, and then the tire won't fucking come off, and I'm like, God damn it. Very annoying. And luck would have it, a guy who is specifically a Volkswagen mechanic at the Volkswagen dealership passing by and helps get our tire off. What luck,
insane.
right? Rest of Dylan, horrible luck. So the joke is that he like has a lot of bad luck so that all that luck can be stored and used in like one really big luck thing moment. And his joke is that was getting me at the beginning.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Dylan is the funny one. Yeah, I want to be funny too. What was another thing? One time early in our relationship, I told Dylan
wish to be funny
that I didn't think I was very funny, and he goes, "No, you are really funny." And he brought up this one joke. I don't know. This is a Tumblr thing. Like it's from a very old Tumblr
how much
post.
Are we gonna date ourselves?
No. Well, okay, you know those like things where it's like find your vampire name, and it's like alphabet letters, and they each have like words right to each letter, and you're supposed to pick like your first initial and your last initial, and that gives you like your vampire name, like Count, you know, Chocula or some shit, right? So there was one famous one, and it was your like werewolf name or your wolf name. And people were like, I got whatever. And then they were like, I got Moon. Their name was Moon because whatever their initials, they had the same initials. And that was on the word moon. Yeah, no, Penguin was getting here. Moon.
Love that
so
one.
I was telling Dylan about this, or we saw the post or something. And he goes, oh my God. Oh, and then somebody posted like a picture of a bad wolf tattoo. And they're like, this is Moon. And Dylan's like, so what noise do you think that wolf would make? And I just go, he died laughing. Just the timing of it. And so, yeah, so when I was like, I don't think I'm very funny, he's like, no, you made that joke. And I'm like, that's not the same, Dylan. It's not the same.
It's a different brand, and that's just
when I do.
Special.
I will say, when I like edit the videos and I make a joke and then Dylan laughs, I'm like on that high. I'm like here editing videos. I'm like doo, and then I make a joke and then Dylan laughs at my joke and he laughs like hard at my joke. I'm like, ooh, score!
That I feel so proud if I could get a chuckle out of
That's
you too.
moo. That's moo.
I'm like, I did it.
Yeah, so I'm like listening back, and the worst part is though, I will say the worst part is, so I'll like be like, oh my God, so that joke must have been funny, right? And I like cut that and I'll like go to put it in clips. And for a long time, not recently, because I've gotten better at like doing shorts. I just the workflow doesn't really allow for it with Dylan's like stupid work schedule. But I used to have Dylan like vet all the shorts. Like he would come and he would watch all the ones that I thought could be good shorts, and he would like veto them, right? And so like put a joke in there that like I thought was funny, and like Dylan laughed at the joke that I made, and then he'll hate it.
Damn it.
Then he'll veto it. I'll be like, but you laughed, and he's like, yeah, it's not funny now. And I was like, no. This is so sad. This is so disappointing. The other thing, so he also vets all of the what goes into like a redirect, right? So I'll cut all the videos to be a redirect, and then he'll sit there and he'll watch it with me and he'll veto them. And there's a couple in each of them that I will like, no, this one stays. Like, I like this one. And if you veto it, like, this will stay. But sometimes he vetoes it, and I'm like, no, it was funny. It was funny. He's like, no, it's bad. I'm like, no. Why?
It was funny.
Yeah. So he's very fickle. Last thing I will say, we used to at one point would watch the videos that came out the last week so he could relive it too. And he would pause the video to make a joke in real life. So we're watching the video and he would pause it to make a joke. And I'd be like, hold on, Dylan. We would play the video, and in video, Dylan would make the same fucking joke. And he had no reference of it. It's not like he's trying to get it. He just doesn't remember it. He just like has like a joke formula in his head at any given time. I don't fucking know. But he'll make the exact same joke. I'm like, oh my god.
Now that's talent. That's just talent. Epic.
Pastry Puff, we're saying, and I think I'm just having midnight brain right now, but we're saying culprit is the person who was convicted.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, trivia.
Yeah. All right, Mars, entertain for a minute while I get water. I'm thirsty.
All right. You leave the person with a sore throat in charge of talking? How dare you?
A minute.
All right. That's so funny. I knew a bit of the behind the scenes when it came to the process of picking the jokes for the shorts, but I definitely didn't know the whole process. The fact that Dylan's brain just holds onto these jokes for a little bit and or remembers them, or is just like on the same wavelength as he was like months and months and months ago. Like, damn, that's just impressive.
He has like a flowchart in his head.
Federico.
He has like a flowchart in his head where it's just like certain things like connect, and it will always connect that way. And he'll make the same. Now, every once in a while, he will have gone like, I should have made that joke here. Like, he'll like wish he did a different joke, or he wish that a place where there wasn't a joke, he did make one. But it's just wild.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got a snacky too, didn't you?
I always had a snacky, but I need the water for the snacky because they're Reese's peanut butter cups, and if you don't have water with them, it's always rough.
Oh, your throat just dries. So sad.
All right.
Okay.
Cool, Pastry Puff. Thank you.
He looks so good.
In the original trilogy, youngest culprit of a murder. Ooh. I think I know the answer.
I feel like I know the answer, but I almost feel like it's a trick answer.
It's not that one, no. Trying to remember everyone. Can't remember how old that character was. Yeah. I drink milk later.
I got it.
Shit, you got it. And
I
the bonus.
did.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a rarity. Go me. Wow. Thanks, cold medicine.
Ooh. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Bye, Federico. Thanks
Bye,
for hanging
Federico.
out.
Now I'm second guessing myself.
That was a trick question.
Okay. I'm gonna... I'm like in the trick question. It made it worse. Yeah, it made it worse.
I love that. I did not realize I had this much power.
Because I had an answer, and I was like, no, they didn't kill someone at that age. And then I was like, but was it this one? I was like, But then I had this one, and I was like, no, but are we counting that as a death? I don't know. And so I'm like, But then you're like, you thought it was a trick question? And I'm just like, ooh.
You could do it, Ori.
I want to get it right. I want to be a cool kid.
If I could do it, you could do it.
All right, I'm gonna make an attempt, but I'm worried.
Commit, Ori, commit.
Whoops.
Oh, all these checks and circles rolling into the station. Look at that.
Damn it. Yeah, damn it.
Ooh.
That was where I was like, does that count as a murder or not? I wanted to say her. I wanted to say the one you chose. Technically, I was gonna pick a different age, though, originally, and I was like, no, but no murder then.
A valiant effort. Valiant effort, indeed.
So sad. Well, such is life. All right. Let's get
You'll get him next
a
time.
non-BL comic in here again. This is the one...
Yes. Because even
that
though 80%
I love.
of what we read is BL,
it's really funny.
Still 20%
the comics that I would sit here and say are like my top 3. Okay. Top 3 is tough. I will say
guess,
top
Allie?
5.
I think you know. Yes.
No.
No.
Yes, you could. You could.
Yes.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
Give it a try, Allie. We believe in you.
My brain died. If I had to say my top 5 favorite comics, 3 of them aren't BLs. One of them is definitely a BL, and the 5th one is a toss-up. I don't know. The 5th one is hard.
City of Blank is definitely in my top 10. Not a BL.
My top 3 are definitely Cast Off, Aurora, and this one, which is Dreamwalker!
Oh. Favorite. Muted. I love Muted.
Muted is very good.
Can you tell I like the ones about communication, you guys?
It was really good.
I'm not sure if that's obvious yet.
But I love Dreamwalker. I love the universe. I love the magic system. I love the lore.
The designs are so
I love
distinct.
Spider.
I
He's
love Zev's
amazing. They're all great. The story has been fantastic. The art is incredible. I've been following it since it was before an original.
Put an animation in the most recent comic.
So
entry.
cool, so good. I love it so much.
So hard for this comic.
Definitely
so
a
impressive.
massive favorite. Highly, 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 highly recommend. Yeah, City of Blank is up there. I was gonna go look at my thing for a second. Yeah, City of Blank is good. Ooh, Covenant is really good. There's just not enough Covenant yet, but I'm loving Covenant.
Reeds is also really good.
Well, Reeds is on this list. I love Reeds. Reeds is in my top 5. Reeds is like one of the BLs in the top 5. It's that 5th one, right? We got Cast Off, Aurora, Dreamwalker, Reeds, and I don't know what the 5th top 5 would be.
I really enjoyed How to Become a Dragon.
That one was good. No, it's Rayalta. It's Rayalta.
Oh, Rayalta.
It's Rayalta.
Shit, Rayalta is so good.
Yeah. It's Rayalta. That's it. Ace Tooney, where we look at things.
We do look at our things, Penguin.
Oh, yes.
We gotta remind ourselves of what we like.
When things go on hiatus,
we don't always know what we like.
I totally get the brains a little bit.
The brain's got a brain. And that's just how
that was my struggle, Penguin. That was my internal struggle, okay? That was my struggle.
No, Rayalta is so good.
Rayalta's really good.
Very good trans
Love the art,
story.
love the artist.
Good trans rep. Love that. And also just really good idea, really good world building. Like, it's one of those stories that does simple world building, but oh my god,
in a beautiful way.
It's so well explained that you follow right along with it. And I love world building like that.
No, super good. Very great.
I also really like I'll Be in Your Care, which is ending soon.
Yes.
And I think the next episode is gonna
there
end with a sad thing.
No. I don't think it will. I think we're good. But my point being, there's tons and tons of webcomics that we really do like and we really do love to watch and read. This is just me trying to pick like my top faves and definitely the ones that specifically inspired me. So if you're looking to read something, definitely check out Cast Off,
These are the ones.
Comic Aurora, Dreamwalker. Fantastic stuff. They also have a lot of content out. All three of those have a lot of content out.
The creator for Not So Silent is constantly posting things to their story.
They also have a second other comic that's called Dear Theodora, which is about vampires and Hecate and stuff.
Yes.
And it's, it's instead of BL, it's GL, which is great. Which we also love. We also stan. They're adorable.
They are very cute. And then I think they're working on a third one.
Oh, did they?
That's like in the development stage.
My goodness. I could never. Those are artists that I do really envy. I'm like, how do you do this much? And then I realize, and then I have to sit there and I have to be Ori, because you also edit videos.
Yes.
And you also
you
stream.
Videos, you make shorts. You stream.
God, guys, why is content creation so hard? Man, every single week.
Of all the creators, Red does find a way to kind of have it all, because Red does a podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna state something really important right now. OSP is so big they have a team. OSP is so big they have a team now. Okay, like they do to an extent have a team. Because you have Indigo and you have Sign. Yeah, but but Red didn't start with having the comic and having the podcast and doing. Red was in college and only did the videos, and it was one video like every other week or whatever. Okay? I'm not gonna lie. There is a little bit of a difference. I would love to be what OSP has, but it's a lot.
I mean, you're working that way.
We're getting there.
Certainly working that way.
It's definitely getting there.
All right.
I lost my track.
Who are we taking And who are we assigning to our boy Spider?
It's definitely Spider, and I'm gonna do Ferrix. Because I don't feel like anyone else really fits neither the vibe nor the aesthetic as well as I think Ferrix does.
Ferrix fits it. Ferrix fits it very, very well.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. The question is for the Reeds one, if we do get to that one, which I hope we do. That would be the last one I really want to do. Is which one do I want to draw?
Oof.
Because I love both the boys.
That's a hard one.
And honestly, like, Who's Who is fairly easy. But, like...
But which one?
So which one do I pick? And I love their outfits! And it's so difficult.
Especially the outfits where they go to the festival.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm definitely gonna do their, like, pretty normal outfits. They have a fair amount of different outfits, but their main, like, traveling outfits.
Recognizable.
Yeah, the one where they're, like, mostly black, but Shu has red and Kang has blue. It's just like, eh. The red and blue gays strike again.
That they do. They always do. Kang gives me such Aster vibes.
Yeah, I mean, stoic white hair boy. Kind of difficult not to give Aster vibes.
But they literally have the same personality with being quiet, hesitant boys.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably gonna do Shu just because, like...
I'm not trying to do white hair equals white hair. Like, it literally
No, I
checks
mean,
out.
look at Gojo. Like...
Exactly.
There's nothing to do with it.
This almost reminds me of Ferrix's beta outfit.
Yeah, I can see it.
Before we settled on his full design. His canon design.
I haven't actually drawn the boys in that in a while. I'm losing the touch.
Sometime. Because you've mostly been drawing Axis, Guard 1, Guard 2.
Not Guard 2 yet, but Axis, Guard 1, and one Avrit.
One very intimidating Avrit.
Yep. And he fought fucking tooth and nail. Jesus Christ.
Oh god. He's a bitch! He's just a bitch.
Dylan told me I can't call Avrit a bitch.
Why not?
He's a dick, not a bitch. That's what I was told.
I don't know, I feel like bitch has more flair than dick.
Yeah, but Dylan equated bitch to being more like whiny. Like, I guess he's not whiny.
He's not whiny.
He could be both. Dylan, okay. A little into the sus, but Dylan is adamant that Avrit can never be a bottom. And I'm like, okay, Dylan, you can feel this way. You can feel a certain way about it.
That. I'm not so sure about that. Give me some time with Avrit, okay? He hasn't met him for very long.
He's just seen him looking very...
Guys. Avrit's a bottom. You think this man is in control? Hell no. Hell no, this man is not in control.
He's a mess.
He's a bottom through and through.
Where is my thing?
See, Penguin gets it.
See? Thank you, Penguin.
Because
Avrit has pissed wife energy.
He's projecting too much. He's trying too hard to be on
I'm
top.
glad.
So
I will say, I do find Dylan to look at most of my boys, and he goes one way or the other way, and one way is, this is the manliest man to ever manly man, and if you do anything not super manly, like, I'm sad. I'm Dylan sad. And then the other side is, they're not thick enough. Make the femboys thicker. Those are the two options. I'm serious. Literally, he has two options.
There, like, give him the cake.
Yeah. He has two options. He looks at Milano and he's like, yes, this is masculinity in its entirety. He is manly man. If he dares looks at a dress, I will be sad Dylan. And then I draw like Ferrix or Hotson, and he goes, not thick enough. Make him thicker. Why are they not thicker? Make them thicker. And it's like, what?
Most hate out of everybody.
But it's not enough. For Dylan, it's not enough. I can't draw women with large enough chests or men with big enough asses for Dylan. There is no, I can never get there. Because I refuse to do it to like...
We're inspired by Western animation. We're not doing too much anime.
Yeah, I like personally, my personal thing is I refuse to do it to a point where it looks disproportionate. You know what I'm saying? Like when it looks comical.
No, you want the anatomy, anatomy to look.
That's why he's like, Ori, you never draw yourself accurately. And it's like, okay, well, that's how I feel when I look at me. I think it's accurate. That's why he called my little self-portrait. Like he called it the Disney-fied version of me.
Wow.
Yep. Which is essentially a compliment.
Holy shit, Full Metal Alchemist is on Webtoon.
I think you literally told me this, Mars. I'm very certain you literally sent me an image of that.
No, I did. I definitely did.
Okay.
I just didn't expect it to be up so soon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like surprised of its existence.
No, I'm like, damn,
yeah,
it's here.
literally, Penguin. I like literally did a little thing that was like, just, you know, drawing cake of the boys just for fun to show the differences, because I did try to strive a little bit with, you know, body types and stuff. And Dylan's just like, yeah, no, not thick enough. It's like, what? It's really thick. He's like, nope, not thick enough. So thick. And I'm just like, okay, Dylan. Well, this is my level. I think it's pretty damn thick.
He's not a blow-up doll. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't have an extra cartridge for the trunk.
I don't even know where that's going anymore. What?
I'm thinking, like, you know how you fill up the... I'm thinking of one of those blow-up dolls where, like, there's a tube that goes into the arm. There's a tube that goes into
know what. Yeah, like, I got it.
Its own distinct thing.
I got it.
I don't want to describe this any more than I have to.
I got it.
Any more than I'm sure you want to listen to it.
Cartridge is just not a word I would have used.
It's not the word I wanted, but it's the word that came out.
Lovely. This has certainly derailed.
Sometimes that just happens, you guys, you know? It's not the word you were searching for, but it was on the menu and you said, fuck it, I'm ordering.
And that's why English is stupid, and screw it up however you like.
Very much so.
This is your own fault, Mars. This is the grave that you have dug for yourself. You had a minute. Okay. You were thinking about it.
But you saw the vision.
I knew what you were talking about. It's the episode of Airplane. I got it, the episode. The scene in Airplane. I got it, okay? I knew the whole time. Cartridge was never an option.
Tube somehow sounded worse. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's all bad.
It was all bad.
Valve?
There was no good option
Valve.
here. Valve. No, that still doesn't sound right.
I think Valve is the most like clinical option we could have done.
Okay, we're gonna take his 2 valves and fill them up. I don't think that's any better. I think this is just a bad idea.
I think it's all bad. Yeah, why did you start this?
Medicine brain.
Yeah, it's the autopilot, exactly. I'm glad someone's aware of what we're talking about. Kind of.
Pipe. Pipe is also bad.
Pipe is a bad choice. Pipe is an inherently bad choice.
Pipe is not good.
Pipe is thus far the worst choice.
Pipe, tube, valve. They're all
Valve
out.
is
I'm
fine.
sorry. No.
I'm sorry that you're just so tisk.
No, I'm
Spider,
not explaining that.
how the fuck do you draw your hair? Spider,
Spider's hair is
please.
Like, his to me looks like one big chunk.
Yeah.
On his head. And that's not a criticism. That's just noticing like a difference between art styles.
Yeah.
But I noticed that like his is less defined by lines than our boys, which is interesting.
Okay. We're trying to get this, Spider. You have like anime protagonist hair, which is always my least favorite hair to draw.
Rip to all the anime boys.
Seriously. One of the first characters I was ever drawing is Natsu from Fairy Tail. And yet I hate drawing spiky anime hair. Because it's like... It seems like it would be easy, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, this should be really easy. You know, it's just spikes everywhere. And it's like, yeah, but it actually matters where you put the spikes? Like, a lot more than it should. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And how many spikes and how thick the spikes are. And like, oh my god.
I'm sorry, Allie. I'm sorry for the Godot.
Every time you have to draw your own character's hair? You're the one who came up with it? Why is it hard to draw at this angle? Ah, the angles are always tough. I'm a stickler. So there's 2 options you can go, Allie, right? There's 2 options you can go. And one of them is the option that this artist has taken, where the hair flips based on the angle. So you're always drawing it from one angle, no matter what actual side the hair is being drawn on. And that's a perfectly fine thing to do. Ace Attorney basically does that in the sense of, like, the character sprites are just flipped when, you know, they're on the other side of the screen. So it, like, literally doesn't matter. But I am a stickler, and I wish to be more realism, I guess, than that, for lack of a better term. And so I pushed myself to draw the character's hair the stupid way, even when it's on the stupid side. Because I was like, this is what I want to do. And I don't regret it, because I think I've definitely become a better artist because of it. But it is a choice, and it does add difficulty. Yeah, Goku's hair is like that. It just flips back and forth. Yeah. Or spiky. Both are probably good. Yeah, exactly, Penguin. They just flip the sprites. And that's another, like, issue I personally have. Not in the fact that I dislike Ace Attorney. I actually don't mind it, which is why it's so annoying that as a person, as an artist, I'm like, I must draw the angles. And it's like, this game, beloved by many, very few people ever mention the fact about the sprite thing. And yet I care so much that our characters don't flip the sides of the screen without, like, having their hair flip and shit. And it's like, Ori, why are you caring so much? You're doing it for a video. Like, chill. Don't draw two different, like, okay. I'm in the process of making new animated sprites for the Ace Attorney videos, so that when we move on to Trials and Tribulations, because we get an upgrade with our PNG tubers, because that's when the 2.0 PNG tubers come into play.
Rolled out.
Yep. Brain. That those like talking sprites you see in the videos sometimes when like Dylan's talking about law stuff, or like I'm doing a crackpot theory, or like Mars is talking about stuff, right? When those come up, they're gonna be animated now, and new art, because you know the other ones were drawn when I first started doing the videos, so they're old. And in my head I'm like, yeah, I'll draw one for each side so we can be on the other side. And it's like, you're animating these, Ori. Why are you? Ace Attorney doesn't even do that. Why are you trying to do that and draw different? And it's like, because I want to be cool. And it's like, nobody's gonna care. Like, I know it's a one and done thing, but nobody's gonna notice.
Above and beyond.
Nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna care. Just flip them. It's like, okay, I'll save myself. But it's hard. Same with like backgrounds. I look at other artists sometimes with the comics that have really good like the comic does really well, and they have like very simple backgrounds in not all of their shots. Like honestly, the ones that are really, really good have like pretty major drawn backgrounds, but like some of their shots are just like pretty flat. Versus me, I'm like, no, it has to be in the space. And it's just like pain. All right, Spider came out okay.
He came out good. Look at him in Ferrix's tank top.
Spider came out all right. We do got time for one more.
We like that. All right, who's next on the list?
We got Reeds.
I feel like we gotta do one for Senate. Oh, Reeds.
Oh, I was gonna do Reeds. I didn't have anyone specific. I just picked comics.
I think it's gotta be Kang and Aster, because Milano already has two.
All right, fine. I'm sorry that I love my boy, okay? I'm sorry
too.
that I love my boy.
I mean, we gotta diversify. We gotta diversify.
Do we?
Sometime.
Oh, that's wild, Mason. That's even more than I thought it was. Wow. That's crazy. The silhouette is like identical at every angle, which is a crazy thing to say.
That's wild. The stuff you could get away with in animation, man. I swear.
Oh, yeah. I know, Allie, I know.
Yeah, the night keeps chugging on.
This one. Is this the right one? Okay, guys, do old Ori a favor, and if you make a comic and you put a comic out on the internet, put somewhere easy to find the full body image of your character. Please. I just want reference.
Like a you issue.
I just want reference images. No, Mars, it's not a me issue. It's that comics are niche, and I'm sorry that I don't want to scroll through 100 episodes to possibly find a reference of a full body of a character.
It's usually, like, most comic arts do use a Q&A hiatus picture to post their references. A lot of ours is a lot of artists take advantage of that opportunity. Look at King. So soft.
So soft. He's such a pretty boy. We stand. This comic is called Reeds. Reeds. Yes. It's really good. There's a lot of content. It's based in Hmong culture. ZZ Sleeps is the artist. It's based in a lot of Hmong culture
as inspiration.
Yeah, it's their own culture.
Really fun, really cool.
They like authentic outfits. You know, like spiritualism, you know, folktales, all that sort of stuff is in it. Really big part of it. Really, really cool.
Which is great.
Yep, another really well done trans story. Really fun.
Also, really good romantic lines. Like, I screenshotted a lot of lines. I think one of the funniest ones I screenshot, I told Ori I was reading it, and I was like, I think I'm at confession scene. And then as I was reading it, I found a line where I was just like, ooh, that's good. And as I screenshot it, Ori's next text came in on top of my phone, which was just like,
yes.
Oh, yeah, baby! Wow, that could not have been timed more perfectly.
Yes. I think you then screenshotted that and sent it to me. No, yeah, you screenshotted that as it came in and sent it to me. Yeah. Too good.
Q&As are fun, Mason. It's a good opportunity to reveal some things about your character that might not ever come up in canon. Because there are definitely some things that are never going to be addressed within the story. But are like, here's a little bit of flavor for the audience.
Yes.
To get a better taste. Yeah, I'm trying to find that screenshot again. That cracked me the hell up.
Yeah, I was looking at our things, at our messages. I found it. I found it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy paste it into chat, into stream.
Nice.
Make sure, yeah, everything's good. So Mars sends me, what does she say? We're talking, and I'm like, oh, you're getting to the part I just reread. It's so good. I really gotta make fan art. And the Mars all caps. Oh shit, they're making a blood oath, and I go, oh yeah, baby.
Well, I'm trying to screenshot this Shakespearean,
very nice.
poetic,
I have no
romantic
need another
line,
diver.
and
You're
then
not
you
in
just
it.
have Ori
Oh, how lovely!
on the top
Oh
of the
yeah, baby! Oh,
I was
so
dying.
Oh yeah, baby!
It's the fact that it was all caps.
Yeah.
Just killed me.
Said, oh shit, they're making a blood oath. So I said, oh yeah, baby.
Why do you sound like Bingo from Bluey right now?
Because that's how you're supposed to read it. No, you didn't even notice the pop-up in the screenshot. You're too focused on screen. I go, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my message pop-up being in the screenshot, and you go, I didn't even notice that. I'm crying.
That was one of those beautiful timings.
Groovy, baby. Too good.
It's definitely given. Oh yeah, babe.
Yeah.
No problem, babe.
No problem, babe. Yeah, babe. God, I love that shit. That shit's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, babe.
God. My throat's gonna hate me after this.
Yeah, stop talking. We need you to be healed for Ace Attorney. We only have so many left.
Literally, pace your pup.
Yeah. Literally. My God, I can't.
That was hysterical. But in all seriousness, it was a beautiful scene. There's
so
another
good.
one that I screenshotted with one of the characters
Do you want the
confessing
date?
to the other, and I'm just like, ooh, that's a good line too.
Would the date help you
The date?
to find it in your phone?
Oh, I'm sure I could locate it. But sure.
August 19th, 2024.
Many. Wow. How long?
Okay, Esther, how does your hair even work again?
Oh, yep. Took screenshots of that. Took screenshots of that. Little treat, little treat. Yes, screenshotting things of comics to go back and look at them anytime I want is indeed a little treat.
Yeah, I'm sad that you can't screenshot originals. I understand why, but it just
so bad.
makes me sad.
I get it. I do.
Yeah, I really do understand. Like, I don't want, you know, artists have to deal with copyright shit. Like, I totally get it. But, like, it's also like, but I don't want for copyright reasons. I just want for good reasons.
I want it for selfish enjoyment reasons.
Yeah. Me screenshotting every time Sakura fucking smiles in Windbreaker. Selfish reason.
I can't screenshot because Crunchyroll is being a little bitch.
On my old phone, it was somehow bypassing. On this new one, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many.
Sad. I'm gonna grab a throat lozenge real quick. I'll be right back.
I'm trying to find if I have a ton of screenshots that I sent you. Where are all the things? There's too many things. This is mostly Outcast stuff. How dare it? Because there's a part when I'm definitely just like sending you screenshots. Oh god, I didn't realize that animation was so old now. Ah, I found some. I just like the smirks. They're good. Ah, blushing Sakura, great. I love this one. Lovely. There's the other one. Dan. Lovely. Ah. I also sent you like Natsu ones. So badgers, otters. You're deciding on things. Right worth. My goodness.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Took me a while to track down the friggin' cough drops.
These
will very selfishly go on my cork board.
I know. I gotta watch the
and
next episode.
cherish.
I just haven't had the time.
Lori.
I just haven't had the time. Today, okay,
during
can I tell you about
tomorrow.
the bullshit that I had to do for my job today? Because I'm annoyed.
Sure.
And now, I will say...
no bullshit to share. I stayed home.
Yeah, you did stay home. Okay, so I was at a job site yesterday, where they're digging a hole. They did not finish digging the hole. So that means that next time they're digging the hole, I still need to be there, okay? Because the hole is not dug to the point where I don't need to be there anymore. I need to be there. That's all well and good. Usually, You come back the next day and continue digging the hole.
I'll let you
Good
know
night, Mason.
about the opening you sent me.
Right? Usually, the next day, they come back and continue digging the hole. So, when I saw that I was assigned to the same location, I was like, yeah, makes sense. Also was assigned to a location that seemed rather close to the first location for tree pruning from the same company, right? So I'm working for the same company who is digging the hole and having the trees pruned. And they're relatively close by geographically. As the crow flies, these two job sites. However, unfortunately, they both start at the same time, which sucks. They're both supposed to start at 8 a.m. Okay? So I get to site 1 with the digging site. No, I'm sorry. I go to pruning site. Nobody's there. So I go to digging site. Crew is there, but not yet digging. So I go back to pruning site. Still nobody there. I go back to digging site and I wait around. Now, I want you to know that while these sites should only be about 5 minutes away, with traffic, one of the directions took me 20 minutes to get between the two sites multiple times. Again and again and again and again. So now I'm sitting at the digging site. And I look up, and I walk the site. I like say hi to the crew, whatever. They're mulling around, but that's fine. You know, they don't start till later sometimes. You know, they have to wait for the excavator guy to come. Who knows? It doesn't matter to me. I look up, and most of the crew is gone. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go back to it's been like an hour now. I go back to the pruning site. Still no tree crew there to prune. I come back to the digging site. There's only one truck here with one guy. Nobody else. Where did everybody else go? So I go over to him and like, hey, what's up? You guys digging here today? And they're like, oh, no, the crew left. It's like, yeah, they're like, oh no, they're at this site, but there's no trees there. And I'm like, yep, I know. And they're like, but at this site, and I'm like, I don't think there's trees there either. And he's like, no trees. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, but they're at this site, there are trees there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but they finished digging, you know, they're not digging there anymore. They got as deep as they needed to be with me. And he's like, all right, so great. I have been driving back and forth between these two sites for 2.5 hours. To learn that I didn't even have to be at one site this whole time. Now I'm getting paid, okay? Like I will say, I am getting paid. It's just an annoyance where I'd rather be sitting at one job site, waiting for the tree crew to come, than driving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Really sucks. And so then finally I go back and the tree crew is like, where are you? It's like, oh my God. Where have you been? It's like, you didn't get here till 10 o'clock. It is 10:30. It took me 20 minutes to get between these two sites. And no, unfortunately, they're just far enough away where walking would not be faster. You know what I'm saying? The traffic is just shit. Got stuck behind 2 school buses for 10 minutes each of just sitting there. And like, oh, and everybody else honking. And it's like, what the fuck do you want us to do, mate? Like, what the, please, you're 8 cars behind the school bus. Where the fuck you want us to go? And I was just so annoyed.
Seriously. God.
So annoyed.
That sounds absolutely miserable. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Yeah, that one's a great line, Mars. Yes, it definitely is spoilers, but it's a good line. Read reads, guys, please. The love story is great. The character growth is amazing. The lore is fantastic. The representation is great. Oh, so good.
It's
My
so
sole
good.
complaint, I have one complaint, and it's just the fact that because it's being very realistic in how, like, it shows characters, a lot of characters look similar to the point where it can be kind of difficult for certain characters to know who's who, but that's more of just like a,
but
sometimes
then,
people
do
look very
an okay
similar.
Job.
Oh, no, it's not
say if
bad.
you can follow along with Apothecary Diaries and Mao Dao Zushi, you'll be able to follow this.
Yes. Again, like, if I had to nitpick something, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was forced to nitpick something. And again, it's obviously from being, like, more realistic, right? That, like, all of these characters would have black hair because the people have black hair, right? You know, like, these are all women in their, like, you know, 30s, 40s, you know, with long black hair, wearing royal outfits that are all roughly the same color. It's like, okay, like they're gonna look similar, but that's not the artist's fault in the sense of they were trying, they're being accurate, you know, historically and culturally. So it's just very like a
face syndrome, in fact.
No. The faces look actually different, but you have to like look at them.
It's a case of genetics.
You finished editing! Yay!
Woohoo! Nice, Allie.
You mean at the end of stream? You still get 10 minutes. We're talking, we're chatting, we're chilling.
Yeah, we're just hanging
I have
out.
not finished this Aster that looks identical to Kang right now. Jesus Christ.
It really does. Oh my god.
The hair is different, but geez.
But I think we do have to do long ponytailed Aster at some point, because this is beautiful.
Well, this is not a ponytail. He's just in a hat. This is the hat ends. The tie wrap ends. That's not even hair. Yeah.
I know, but it looks like it, and I'm just like, ooh.
I don't know if he'd grow it out. I don't know if he'd grow it out, though. I don't know if he'd want to.
It would depend on what's happening.
Like, I don't feel like his hair is as tied to, like, his identity as some other characters are. I feel like his hair and, like, Ferrex's hair at the lengths that they are mostly, like, comfort things at this point. I also think Sinnett has specifically chosen this hair length.
Oh, I think so too. I do think Aster,
I'm glad,
when
Allie.
it does
We do
grow
strive.
out a little bit longer, is he'd put it in that little Shang-Chi shoe ponytail.
Okay, I
like,
can see
very,
that.
very
Where
tight.
it's like, you literally can't tell except from very specific angles.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was great.
I could see Aster doing that.
Yeah. Shang-Chi is always like, wait, oh yeah, I forget he does have a little tiny baby ponytail.
No, guys, I was so happy the other day with my new haircut. I actually was able to get my hair to look like Shang-Chi, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy. My mom's watching me like jump around in front of the mirror, and she's like, you know, you could pull your hair back with long hair too. And I'm like,
it's not the same.
Not the same, Mom. I don't look like Anime Boy if I've got the long hair.
Yeah, literally, it's from one angle.
I don't look like specific Anime Boy.
It's so minute, my guy.
It's so tiny.
I literally just looked it up. Like,
But
just
it's
looked
so
up him.
good.
And I was like, it's wild how just, like, barely there it is. Like, literally from the front angle, you can't see it at all.
That's
Barely there. Even, you know, Sherlock Holmes from Moriarty the Patriot has more ponytail.
Oh, Sherlock has more of a ponytail than that. We've been very good background noise. Aw, shucks.
I strive to be that.
So happy.
That means that you can tune in even if you don't have time to watch. That's the secret, Cap.
Exactly.
That's how we get the
But you do
engagement.
have time to listen.
Mm-hmm. You almost always have time to listen.
Key.
There we go. Lovely.
Aster fits this style so well. And sweet. We gotta give all our boys the love if it's webcomic day, you know?
Sure, I guess.
Come on, Ori, Aster is our forgotten child.
He's
just
forgotten.
Once.
I will.
Okay.
Okay. I actually gotta tell you, when I sit there and I go through my fucking files, Aster has a surprising amount of just himself sketches, okay? If I'm being honest, I think Sinnet is the forgotten child.
Which is funny because
like
Sinnet
art-wise,
had his backstory finalized the quickest, and Aster was the last one to get his backstory
I'm gonna
finalized.
tell you why. I'm gonna
really
tell
funny.
you why. And the reason is because he cooks. That's literally it. That's literally it. The reason is because Aster cooks, and so literally all the extra Aster sketches are of him like doing cooking things or being Senshi, you know, from Dungeon Meshi or like shit, you know, like it's all very like it's cooking relation.
It all fits in very, very well.
Because if I want to draw food, it's like here's Aster for me to draw food. And I definitely want to draw food more than I want to draw plants, which is a funny thing when you think about it, but it is true. I think I warmed up finally. Aster actually looks good.
He looks really good. That's what I've been saying.
Okay, now the question is to draw Kang.
I never noticed that Kang had such a big piece of bang.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely like all pushed to the front here.
Mm. Good to see of Zara.
Yes. I will say, this rap, though, has inspired me for... Because Ferrix is the only port outfit that I don't feel locked in with. Everybody else's I'm pretty happy with. But Ferrix's I'm just like, you're not right yet. I don't know. You know, it just wasn't it. This wasn't happening. But doing this head wrap thing, I feel more the direction I'd like to go.
Looks beautiful.
It does give a bit of pirate, so, you know, bandana and stuff.
It does. Because they know they gotta keep their hair back when they're pirating, doing their thing on the ship. Very important.
All right, Kang, can I do your hair justice?
Honestly, I could see him wearing a kerchief while cooking.
Aster? Yeah,
You know,
Aster gives me... Okay, Aster gives me MASH making cream puffs.
He does.
Maybe not with the fully frilly apron, but the general vibes of going, like, full chef. You know what I like? Full kitchen, right?
Hell yeah.
I don't think he'd be against a frilly apron if that's what they had.
Bandana. Oh, he wouldn't be against it at all.
But I do think that
like his default base would not be a frilly apron.
Yeah, his default base would not be a frilly apron. I also think that he would probably consider the frills a bit of a fire hazard.
With his type of cooking, yes.
Yeah.
Cream puff, C-R-E-A, puff.
So good. I'm so glad they're getting a season 3.
I need it, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
I love MASH. MASH is a beautiful comic anime. And I will say, I don't think the manga could do it as much justice. It's just hard for physical comedy like that.
It's all about the timing.
Yeah.
And I find that lends itself very well to animation and when things are in motion.
Oh, I'm doing a stupid.
Because, like, especially for slapstick, which MASH does use, if you can make something stop instantly, you know, that adds to the comedy. But you can only do that in animation.
Yeah. Kang, I need you without your hat, I just realized.
Uh-oh.
Kang, I know you don't always have your hat, but Kang, please. Don't make me...
screwed up!
Uh-oh. Yeah, I cannot find a reference easily.
Okay, Ori,
What?
you're going to drag me so hard for this.
Uh-oh.
I didn't realize it was Kang's hat until you told me.
What?
I thought he had two-toned hair this whole time.
What? What?
It's two-toned hair.
What? It's fat!
I told you were gonna drag me for it.
Chat, drag her! Get her!
Thank you, Penguin!
What? Y'all are nuts. Okay, you know what, Penguin? If you're watching this on stream, you get a pass solely because I know it's probably kind of small. Mars read the fucking comic, and number 2, in the fucking comic, it talks about his hair being fully white. It talks about why his hair is fully white. It talks about we dye his hair black at one point. We show him without the hat.
How was his hair?
Mars was too into the gay.
I can't defend myself.
She couldn't.
I can't defend myself.
Sadly, I don't have a good reference for Kang's hatless hair, so I just kind of vibed, and it's just okay. Sorry, Kang.
Oh wow, you full screen us, Penguin? I'm so honored.
Oh wow, yeah, damn. You're not even having us in the background.
That's crazy.
No, Penguin, the only way it can get bigger is if you read the actual
Which is recommended.
Oh yeah, do it. Again, fantastic comic. One of my favorite indie comics. And definitely my favorite indie BL. 100%.
Also,
nothing can top
easiest
Sasuke
to catch
Miyano,
up
but
with because they upload monthly.
yeah, there is a lot of content though.
It's very easy to catch up.
Yeah, there is a lot of content though.
There is. But I know some of you do like that.
Something I didn't realize is I really strive for like very different eye shapes in all my characters, where nearly all of these characters we drew have just the same eye shape across almost all characters in the comic. Like within their comic, the eye shape is pretty much the same. I'm not saying like, but like the artist draws eyes one way mostly. You know what I'm saying? Which is just a funny thing to me. You have a mole, my guy.
How will you be a silly gremlin? It's a fair argument, Penguin. I got nothing.
This is very true. No, Penguin, I totally get it. I try to put streams on in the background, and then I was just like, no, I want to chat, and then it never works out for me. So I literally only watch very specific streams.
This is why I always listen to the post stream.
Yeah, I listen to videos because then I have no desire to interact. But see, I can't listen to straight streams after the fact because I want to interact. Like it's like I know I could have been there. You know, I don't know.
It's like inside you there are two wolves.
Yeah. I can't get myself to join the super skinny eyebrow gang. That's just a personal preference. Where like the
eyebrows add so much personality.
Well, where the eyebrows are just like lines. Like I love this artist. Like I literally follow them. They draw beautiful art. But like as an artist, it's like nah, art style must have eyebrow. That is not just boop. That could be you. Skinny eyebrow gang or not skinny eyebrow gang? Kang looks wild without his hat, not gonna lie. But I also definitely screwed up his hair because I don't have any
I'm so
references.
used to seeing him with long hair, gotta admit.
I don't have any references without the hair. Ah, I found one! I can fix it! I had to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I can fix it!
You can do it, Ori. We believe in you.
It's honestly just like short. It's less fluffy than I made it, basically.
You do like your fluffy boys.
I do. There it is. That's his hair instead. Oh yeah, thick eyebrows do save lives.
Indeed.
He's a very pretty boy, though. I didn't do him justice. Alright. That's everybody.
The gang's
Success.
all here.
So
Except
remember,
Sinnit.
we
Sorry,
didn't do Sinnit. We don't have time for Sinnit.
No.
I don't even think...
Maybe we could do a quick Sinnit if we have time on Thursday, but I don't know.
I don't even know who I would do as Sinnit. I didn't have any specific Sinnits. The only other comic I had listed was, again, Very Hotsun and Milano. I guess this one could have been a Sinnit, maybe. They're NB2, technically. This one character could have Sinnited.
So this year's Sinnit is our forgotten child.
No. In Art Fight, the forgotten child is Aster.
Making time for Sinnit. Poor boy.
Sinnit's got a lot of art. Hold on. Let me save this. And let me prove that he's not a forgotten child. Where am I even saving this? Comic, I guess, Doodles. Webcomic day character cosplay. Woo! Well, I did draw Sinnit crying in the corner. He does do that from time to time.
He
But
does.
if we look, we can count. Where's Doodles? Actually, I haven't doodled a ton in the past year. That's a Hotsun. Sort by date. Is this all from this year? No, this is all from last year. My goodness. Most of this is from last year. That's all from last year.
Our boyo.
Yeah, it's been mostly Hudson and Milano this year. Ooh, Ferrix got the Greatest Showman doodles. That's Ferrix.
Ooh. Yes, Ferrix and Avrit.
Yes. Then there's Aster and Hotsun Carpenter tier thing, Malotson Carpenter tier, Medic tier thing, Malotson Medic tier thing. Yeah, nothing in the other stuff. That was all Hotsun and Milano. And then Ghibli was Hotsun. When is what again? Art Fight is July. However, we will start doing Art Fight content on streams. I think starting next week, actually.
Snap, that's coming up real soon.
Yeah, I think that's when it is. Yeah, I mostly draw Hotsun and Milano. There's no question there. They're my boys, okay? I love them. I love them. Here's my thing. Yeah, God, there's so much stuff, man. Aster. Hotsun, Milano, Ferrix. All 5. I would say that besides Hotsun and Milano, they end up pretty even. Not gonna lie.
All right. Hey,
but
that's
Hotsun and Milano are my boys. New average, yes. So, we can say briefly, where did I put it? I think it's in this channel. Did I pin it? No, here it is. Yes, so the 3rd week of May, which will be next week, we do the average ref sheet. Then the next week, the goal is to add the AU outfits to the paper dolls. So the reference sheets I have for all of our boys, I want them to have their Ace Attorney AU and Band AU outfits. And maybe Port. We'll see. We'll see. Then the 1st week of June is going to be finishing all of that stuff because I know I'm not going to finish each of those in just one stream. 2nd week of June is going to be the Art Fight 101 and more prep. So I plan to have like a whole slideshow just about like art fight etiquette, the vibes, that sort of thing. And some cool art fight quest stuff we're going to do. And then the 3rd week of June...
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
The teams will have been announced by then, so we'll actually design the Art Fight quest badges and talk more about the quests. And then the 4th week of June is off. We're off stream. No stream. And then we have Art Fight. And then it'll be Art Fight streams for all of July. So, yeah. Oh... And we'll finish with a little comics whippy.
The
whippy. Because I got all of the sketches done. Woo! And Guard 1 has way too much personality. Look at this man. Why did I give him so much personality? I dislike how much of a character he is. Look at his sass. I can't.
Bro.
Like, he's got too much sass in him.
To be a background character,
I told you that this was gonna be a problem, Mars. I told you that I can't not, you know? I didn't even try.
God.
We specifically tried. Also, I'm very proud of these shoes walking down the stairs. I'm also very proud of these shoes walking down the stairs. Look, they're different shoes.
He did grow an entire personality.
He really
also,
did.
I cannot get over Axis's bangs. They just look so Edward Elric to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then we have
and the yellow
Chad Britt.
sketch lines do not help that.
They're green. They're lime green. And then his hair is like maroon.
Yeah, that still doesn't help your case because Edward also wears maroon.
This is true. This is why you don't name pets. I
Pets.
know.
You get
It's
attacked.
honestly, sadly, it has nothing to do with the name. It has nothing to do with the name. Mars wrote him too sassy. That's the problem. I'm gonna blame Mars. Mars gave him too much personality.
Asshole.
And this is where we fucking ended up.
Assholes are sassy?
Yeah, apparently. Look at Everett!
I cannot force interpretation. I think this one's on Ori.
No.
I did have a lot of fun writing Guard 1's
Come on,
asshole
he's
dialogue.
so sassy with the asshole. Ooh, so it does speak. Fuck off. Come on, that's not me.
It's like oh, so it does speak.
Yeah. Oh, so it does speak. Come on, you can't. Just can't. It's not me.
Oh, not feeling up to playing now, are we?
No touching. That's not me.
I'm sorry, it was just too much fun. Sasshole. Yes.
Sasshole.
Yes, Penguin, that's perfect.
Ugh. Come on, I made him angry in some points, but he's taunting for half of this. I made him too sassy. I'm upset that I like him. It sucks. I like his character design. pain. Also, I will say, he was really easy to draw. Like,
That's
so was
crazy.
Axis overall. Like, I'm a little pissed. At how quickly I was like just getting into it. And his hat.
Because Everett was waiting
Everett
at the end of you.
fights.
Like,
Everett
she
fights
thinks it's
tooth
gonna
and
be
nail.
So easy.
I
I'm
want
here
to
show
wring
her
this man's
otherwise.
neck. He's a bit. I hate him. I don't actually like I do, and like he's a dick, but like as a character, he's really fun.
He's our problem child.
He's a problem child, and he deserves everything that he's going to get. Ooh, I also designed his sword. So that's not the final sword design. Dylan helped me design the sword. I'm very happy with how it turned out. This is the final sword design. It's specifically based off a Swiss saber, which is purposeful.
There it is, in all its glory.
Gonna be Agwit, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so very fun. I'm very happy with the design. And yeah. Moving along. All right. Thank you all for coming to stream.
Ah, yes, thank you for hanging out with us. This was a fun one.
I'm not gonna roll the end credits because I actually need to
Oh my
update
God,
it.
they're all fun.
Yes, every stream is fun. But thank you all for coming to this one specifically. If you're on YouTube, like the video. It helps us out. Go watch our shorts.
Yes.
Watch our other videos. All that sort of things.
Yes, the shorts got an upgrade recently. They have talking in the beginning.
Yeah.
They're set up to repeat very fluidly.
Yes, they're infinite looping ones. I tried. Some of them are better than others.
That's the word I was looking for.
Some of them are better than others. I'm very proud. There's one that's coming out this week that I'm like super proud of. There's actually two that are coming out this week that I'm super proud of. No, it's the same one. It's all one. There's one that had a ton of editing, but it had art that I could get to reuse from my own thing, so it's great. So make sure to keep up on the shorts. We have an Instagram for Ace Tooney as well. You can find Ace Tooney on Instagram for more shorts and also the art. Like I do, not cross post, but like all of Ace Tooney related art does end up on there as well. So if you have an Instagram, you can follow that. I think that's it right now. Thank you all for coming. Go read a webtoon. It doesn't have to be ours, though that would be cool if you did. If you haven't read it for whatever reason. But just read a webcomic.
Alchemist
Celebrate.
totally counts now.
Yeah, wild. Go read an indie one, though. Just support, you know? Support. And
support.
We'll see you. Have a lovely hump day, whether it's begun or not yet. And we'll see you all on Thursday for more indie. Hopefully we'll finish indie. Fingers crossed. We're finishing
Indies
indie.
crossed.
Yeah, Indies crossed. Indies crossed. All right. See you guys then. Good night.
Bye.